Hello, everybody. Peekaboo. Wyatt James loves peekaboo. We have a good time with that. So, how are you doing? We have Uncle Dave Gardner on with us tonight. We're very lucky and happy to have him on. And we're going to be discussing like APPA and other things and just what we always do in general on a chat with Al. What's going on with the FOC? Hope everyone's doing well. If you have not subscribed to Uncle Dave Gardner's channel, please do so. If you have not checked out Digital to Dice, the many podcasts they have with Dave Gardner and Ron Juckett, please do so. Also check out Uncle Ron Juckett on Twitch and his YouTube channel. But, people who are just tremendous with the community, Dave Gardner, Ron Juckett, with wonderful interviews on Digital to Dice. Check it out if you haven't heard of it, which you must have. So, Uncle Dave, how are you doing?
Not too bad. Been a busy week of gaming, which has been fun. Because I look back, like this time last year, I had 2 or 3 different jobs I was doing. Yeah. And I don't have them this year, so it's less money than I was making, but it is nice to have some time back. So I've been able to kind of go out to lunch with the wife and play some games and do some chats, and the schedule is more free, so I'm not working 7 days a week anymore. But it's so it's been fun to game. I've been playing so many different things, Al, and tonight I was playing some season ticket, and I had in the chat room we were talking, and I just said, I've been stuck on APPA football because I just absolutely love it.
It's addicting, isn't it?
It's so addicting. I think it's the best game. I was
playing the game before I came on.
And we'll get into that later on. I don't know what it is about that game, and maybe I'm in the honeymoon phase. I could just play that all day long and nothing else. But I broke off from that. I played some APPA hockey. I played some season ticket. Right now on my table, I got some APPA baseball going on, and it's just how lucky are we just to have so many great games to play. And that's the one thing that I was talking about in my chat was like, man, we just have so many great games that we can play.
Absolutely. The thing with Arnold Hunter, how you doing? He didn't even have to ask me this time to have a chat. The thing with APPA football, and we'll talk about it more, but you visualize it. It feels, I think everyone said it, from Jason, who plays a ton of APPA football, from APPA club football, Jeff, and the guest you had on, the other guest Greg, who he was talking about this, and I had the chart, and that's when I started looking at it.
Yeah.
And I'm using it now, and it's a lot of fun, and I'll discuss that a little bit later. And we're going to discuss people's projects that they're doing, because I like to do that, in the chat and your stuff. But it's so much fun. It feels like football.
It does.
I've only played strat football way back when. I played a ton of Fran Tarkenton, which is similar to Everyday Player and this and that. I bought Everyday Player football. I haven't played it yet for real. I'm like, because I'm really enjoying APPA. I have the Canadian Stone Cold. No, that's not right. Cold Snap. Which we will. I'm looking forward to that. But I finally figured out a really quick way. It's not quick, but sorting the cards is a lot of fun for me now for APPA football. I
pulled out this here, and I played that. That's the obviously the American version of Cold Snap, second season from play, and I really like that. Dave Little said he got back from the play gathering in Milwaukee today. About 30 guys. That's fantastic.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Michael Canisteri was there. That's AKA another replay guy. Hooray!
I'm hoping to
one project.
The APPA football club there with Jeff and those guys. They're going to the Hall of Fame in August. Depending now, I got jury duty like right around that time, so I don't know.
Jury duty is so much fun, isn't it?
So it's just like last time I was in and out in a day, but I mean, if I get tied up on something big, I don't want to go book hotels and whatever. But depending what happens, depending how the wife's surgery goes, if things are looking good, I might take that ride out there to Canton and see those guys. So if Dave Little's out that way, maybe I can drive by and see him. And there's a couple other listeners that are out in the Ohio area, so maybe we can meet up and say hi if I head out that way in August. So, but anyway,
it's a fun community. They have events. I mean, just the community in general, whether it's play or APPA. Or, even Strat does. They have Strat clubs now. They're trying to promote their Strat, like around the different areas to go play Strat, sports game. Hello, Mark.
So the APPA football, I don't know what it is. It like I said, it feels like football. Yep. And I'm not saying that any of the other games I played don't feel like football, okay? But there's just something about this one that just really hits home with me. And it does so many fun things. One of the things I really like about the game is when you get the fumble rating. And I don't know, I know you played the older game, but in the newer book with the newer charts, that's got a lot of fumble results and a lot of interception results. Okay, you go to the fumble chart, and on a fumble, you just never know what's going to happen. Meaning that I told you that I was playing the tuck rule game. This is how good APPA football is. I'm playing the tuck rule game, and Oakland's winning by 7, and the Patriots are driving. Time's running out. I got it to 4th and goal from the 4 with 26 seconds left. New England ball, okay? Yeah. And I go short pass to who was the receiver in 2001 that was the Patriots? I forget who it was.
Was it Branch?
It might have been Branch. But anyway, I went to one of the receivers. No, it was who was the guy?
Brown.
That did the punt returns. He was in the Super Bowl. Troy Brown.
Yeah, Troy Brown.
So I think I went short past to Troy Brown. So I rolled.
Yep.
And I got a scramble for Brady.
Yep.
So I roll off of Brady on the scramble, and I get a fumble. And it's 4th and goal from the 4, and I'm picturing Brady scrambling in the snow, and he's hit and he fumbles. And I'm like, well, there goes the game. So I roll on the fumble chart, and it says 505. So I'm like,
offense recovers.
Yeah, but I'm thinking that it's like, well, they advance. I said, you can't advance a fumble.
You can't advance a fumble. Offense can't advance a fumble.
Right. So I'm like, game's over, And then wait a sec. It says 505. That means Brady ran 5 yards and fumbled it where it was recovered by one of the guards. And I was
but once it crosses the goal line,
once he crossed the goal line, so Brady on 4th and 4 with 26 seconds left in the show scrambled for the touchdown. And I was just like, that was unbelievable. Now they lost in overtime, but still,
I remember you did a video on that.
How does it do it? 4th and 4.
It's incredible. So
and he scores.
So we have Glenn. Hi, Glenn. Glenn does marvelous projects that he posts in your Facebook group.
Oh, yeah.
Fun to follow. Glenn Victor. So I'm playing right now. Okay, first of all, I thought I got the 1979 APPA football season off eBay. So I get it. I open it up, and I don't do unboxings. I should, I guess. I don't know. It's down cellar. I'm not getting it. But I open it up, and I'm excited, and I'm flipping through the Patriots cards, and I see Chuck Foreman. I'm like, wait.
I forgot he played for New England.
1 year.
You said that.
1 year. I'm pretty sure it's only 1 year. But he wasn't on the 79 team. I'm almost positive. Anyway, it's not the 79 team anyway, even if he was. But I'm looking at so that triggered me to sit there and go, hey, this is not the 79 team. So I immediately go to Houston to see if Ken Stabler's on the Oilers. Once I see that, I go, this is 1980. So I'm okay with it. And it's the original 1980 cards, wonderful condition. Not that I care about that. But so it doesn't have certain things on it. So I had to get used to that. And I only played basic, so it works, but it was kind of funny. So I'm playing week 1, Patriots game 1 against Cleveland. And we have some other wonderful people in the chat. Steve Tower, how you doing? First-time caller, long-time listener. What are your thoughts on a board game version of Battle of the Network Stars? I'll hang up and listen. I would play it. But I have to be able to put Howard Cosell in the dunk booth. Pesky Pole, how you doing?
As long as I can, play some of my favorite, network stars characters, I'm in.
Yeah. If I can play Gabe Kaplan running against Robert Conrad, which was one of the best sporting moments of my life as a kid, I'm there.
I'm thinking more Kathy Griffin from That's Incredible.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. No, it was Kathy Lee Griffin. Remember when she fell in the water on no. Was That's Incredible was on Mondays, right? With Fran
John Davidson.
Yeah. Remember when she did the log? We've talked about this. She did the log rolling and she had the white shirt on and she fell in the water. She popped out and went, as a kid, I was like, I need some alone time right now.
So, yeah, Chuck Foreman played 1 year with the Pats. It was his last year in 1980.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. So now I realize that. So now I'm playing 1980. So just to have a little fun recap, I'm at halftime. And I'm using this little chart that Uncle Dave Gardner made. Very easy Excel chart, but for me, it was a game changer because I play 30 plays. 30 plays per quarter with 3 timeouts at the end. So you get I don't do half plays. I don't do that. It's just me. Everyone play it the way you want, right?
Yep. So
Cleveland, the Patriots early in the first quarter, they had field position. I got greedy. I wanted to pass, right? So I didn't get any points there. And I'm playing fair for both teams. Finally, Cleveland's offense pops Mike Pruitt on a 2nd and 9. And because this says they're playing pass, right? I said, well, let's run our ball. Let's pretend we're running a draw here, right? I roll a 66, which he has a 1 on.
Oh, see ya.
Touchdown. So you wouldn't want to be the horse has left the barn, not coming back. 63-yard touchdown. Don Concroft comes out, extra point blocked. 6-0 Cleveland. That's so cool. We now move to the second quarter. Early in the second quarter, I hit Grogan hit Stanley Morgan, and I could envision this, right? Like cutting across the middle on a short slant, then he turns it upfield, cuts back to the out. 45 yards, touchdown, extra point, good. 7-6 Patriots. Then Cleveland has an injury. I've decided to play injuries, but only 1 injury per game because I don't have all the players. And unfortunately, it was Mike Pruitt who went out. That's going to hurt them. Yeah. But again, his injury was the rest of the quarter and 2 quarters, so he's out of the game.
Right.
So Calvin Hill, who actually didn't carry at all in that game but did play, is now at fullback. Then Cleveland, this was wild. It is 1st and 10. I go to Francis for a medium pass. He catches it for 20 yards, fumbles, but it says 09 recovers. That is Vegas Ferguson hustling Johnny on the spot. Vegas Ferguson, then I said, I'm like you. Anyone picks up a fumble, I'm rolling because I think it's fun. Unless I want him to fall down or something. Right? Mm-hmm. I roll on it. He gets no yards. He's hit out of bounds. Flag. 15 yards. Personal foul on the Cleveland defense.
Oh.
But we don't score. We end up punting the ball. Dino Hall fields it at the 25. I roll a 66. He has a 1 there. He's gone. Touchdown. Extra point good. 13-7 Cleveland. Then, pretty late in the fourth quarter. Second half. First half, second quarter. Grogan hooks up with Stanley Morgan again for a 17-yard touchdown pass. But something really crazy happened. Where is that? Did I circle that? Here it is. Right after the Hall punt return for a touchdown, Concroft has a short kick to the 0-2, who's an offensive lineman, Wheeler. So I'm going to roll the dice because I think this is going to be fun. Now I'm taking a chance because I'm like, well, he could fall.
Oh, yeah.
So I say, I roll. He goes, so from the 38, he goes 16 yards. They take it to the 48, and that's on the drive that helps them score the go-ahead touchdown. They go up. They make the point 14-13. Then, last drive, Cleveland, now I go into my timeout phase, which you get 3 extra plays because I don't play half plays. I don't play out of bounds. Again, that's just the way I play. It's the only kind of tweak I do. So then Cleveland has it. They basically, they're trying to get in field goal range. They hit Reggie Rucker for 6. Then they go medium pass to Newsome. I could envision this. Tim Fox picks it off. I can see it, right? Yeah. Tim Fox. Remember Tim Fox? I can envision it. So he picks it off. He returns it 36 yards, but there's a penalty from the spot of whatever. So I just backed it up 10 yards from the 36. It's on the Patriots because I wasn't quite sure. I probably should have done it from the 20 where they ended up, but I said, screw it. That's the way I'm doing it.
Here's what
because the penalties are so
here's what I do on any kind of return, punt return, kickoff return, interception return, that there's a flag for an illegal block or a hold. What I do is figure out how long the return was.
Yeah.
Okay. So you just said it was
36. I backed it up 10
yards. Well, what I do is I would take like a 20-sided die or a 20 and a 6-sided die, roll the dice.
Oh, that's cool.
And that gives you an idea where the flag might be. Yeah,
that's cool. That makes sense. So anyway, I did it that way because I was like, I thinking about it now, it probably should have been from the pick. But anyway, it doesn't matter. I'm going to play it both same way for both
There's
teams.
No right or wrong because that's a spot foul.
Yeah.
It could happen anywhere along the way.
So I'm saying it happened towards the end of the return. So now we go incomplete, 20 yards to Francis, 9 yards to Morgan, last play of the half. We trot out John Smith for a 35-yard field goal. So he is at the 18.
35?
Yeah. I rolled
good. 65?
I rolled good, but it had to be on the 16, right? So he missed it. So at the half, it's 14-13. Anyway.
I love how the charts do that because it's like, it's
because at first I was like, it's good. And I'm like, and then I have to think again, like, no, it's not good because he's at the 18. This is at the 16. He shanks it.
I love how it does that because it's not
incredible.
No, it's incredible. So you have the different columns for field goals.
Yeah.
And on the master chart, you got first and fourth quarter. And
again, I just played basic if anyone wonders.
Yeah. And so it's a little bit, but the idea that it's just like, it's not good or no good. It's like, it can be, depending where you are, it could be good or not good. So I do like that. I like that a lot, how they do that.
Mark Jones. Oh, first of all, Glenn Victor says, Catherine Bach in the dunk tank. Yes.
Oh, just the good old boys.
I had some private time too after that. Just me. Don Concroft was terrible, costing the playoffs against Oakland. Glenn Victor. Vegas from Notre Dame. Haven't heard that name in ages. Yes, Vegas Ferguson. So anyway, it's a lot of fun. I enjoy APPA football.
My tuck rule game that I played, I don't know the guy's name from Oakland, but he took the kickoff and went all the way in the snow. I rolled a 66, which was a 1, and he went all the way.
I rolled a couple of 60 because both of Grogan to Stanley Morgan's were 1s, and I rolled 66. Grogan has a touchdown on 66 and 11.
Yeah,
I looked up in 1980. I'm pretty sure it's 66 and 11. He threw a lot of touchdown passes in 1980 because they didn't run the ball well at all. Yeah. They ran about 3 yards a pop. You know?
Ron and I looked that up because when I did my Super Bowl with Namath and the Jets against the Colts, Earl Morrall's got a 1 on an 11 and 66.
Well, he was the MVP. I think he was the MVP in 68.
Now that's a touchdown.
Yeah.
Right. No matter where you are in the field and who you're throwing to, if you're throwing to me, it's a touchdown.
Yeah. Which is kind of fun.
So he looked. So Ron, as he does, he computes this in his head, and he says, so you get 2 chances out of 36, so 1 out of 18 or whatever it is to get a touchdown. And when he went and looked up Earl Morrall's stats, that was spot on. Like every 18 or 19 passes, he got a touchdown. So that's not like out of line at all for what he did.
And Earl Morrall, I'm pretty positive because sometimes I say I'm positive, I'm wrong because I can be wrong. In 1968, I believe he was the NFL MVP because they only lost 1 game, the Colts.
Yep.
They were
And so
huge favorites against the Jets.
he
and
threw
I was,
2 long passes in that game. I was like, okay, so every 66 and 11 is a touchdown pass on a pass, and
you
just
got to take a shot there with that.
oh yeah, you do. You do.
And the other thing that's funny, I think it was you who said it. I'm almost positive it was you who said it. I was watching one of your streams, and you say you start looking at the cards and you're understanding them, even with like strat.
Yeah.
I start looking at the APPA and strat cards. I'm like, well, okay, now I figure out like, well, this guy, I'm never, look at the odds of the rolls and stuff. But like also Jason, who plays a lot of strat APPA football,
Mhm.
and he's very interesting to listen to. He does these little mini fireside chats, and he does them every once a week, twice a
Mhm.
week. And usually it's something like he was just talking about modding because he listened
Yep.
to your show.
Yep.
I think that was 2 weeks ago. I think that was 2 weeks ago.
Well, I did a show the other night.
Or maybe it was you. Was it not Digital Dice? Or I remember.
Yeah, no, it's just me chatting away. It's like
Okay.
is if you mod a homebrew a game, does it mean the game is bad?
And so he had his thought process on
Yeah.
that. And he was just going. He goes, and he said he was saying like, and I'm not. You can check out it. I'm not putting words. I don't want to paraphrase, but he just said people mod games because they're trying to. Most of the time, they want to play more of it.
Yeah,
And
they like the game and they want to make it better. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but again, I highly recommend his channel and stuff. But APPA is so much fun.
Yeah. And here's something neat. Al, I was having a conversation. Well, we comments on one of my football videos, and I think it was 78, and I was playing New England at St. Louis. I think it was week 2. So I'm playing week 2 of 78 now. Grogan gets picked off 3 times, but somehow New England still wins the game, right? Jim Hart, I went for a long pass with Jim Hart looking for Mel Gray, and it was intercepted. And when I rolled on the interception, it says 2D11 or something like that, a 2D, whatever. I think it was a linebacker. I think it was Zabel. This guy Zabel.
Yep, I know who that is. Yep.
So that means it was 2 yards over the line of scrimmage when he picked it off. And then when I rolled for the interception, he ran it back. So it was a pick 6. Okay. Cool. They weren't called pick 6 back then, but it was,
Yeah.
And so when I did the broadcast, I think I don't know if it was live when I did that or if I was just talking about it, but I'm just like, Jim Hart goes back to pass. He scrambles, no one deep. He goes to dump it off to, Otis, the fullback, and Zabel steps in front, picks it off, and goes in for the score. That's kind of how I envisioned it. And this guy goes, how I envisioned it was Hart went back, was taking a long pass.
I heard that.
His arm was hit.
And the ball, yep.
And the ball went 2 yards over the line of scrimmage, and it was floating, and the guy picked it off and ran it in. And I says, here's the great thing about that. It says, neither one of us are wrong.
Nope.
Nobody knows what really happened. All we know that the ball was picked off 2 yards beyond the line of scrimmage on an attempted long pass, and then the guy ran it back. At that point there, use your imagination. And whatever you say, it works, I'm not right. He's not right. I'm not wrong. He's not wrong. It's whatever you want. So I envisioned him trying to dump it off, and he threw it behind the receiver, and Zabel picked it off. He envisioned a tipped ball or a tipped arm.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's the great thing about it.
When I heard that, because I did the same thing for certain things. Like some people go, well, if you threw a medium pass? Now, here's the other thing I almost did tonight when I was playing downstairs in the cellar, because I have a big table and I can spread it out. When I was going medium to Morgan, okay, or Harold Jackson, I think. No, it was medium to Morgan. And it was a catch for 2 yards. I almost decided, but I didn't do it because I want to talk about it. And again, it's not going to change anything.
Yeah.
But I almost decided to say, well, I'm going to give that reception to a back, only because to me, he's checking down. Now, you could also say, okay, the reason why to me it was more real, and I didn't do it, but it was more realistic in my mind that say he checked down to Don Calhoun, who was a good receiving back. Mm-hmm. He checked down to Calhoun, say. Because if Morgan's running a medium route, the only way he's coming back to make it, it's like if Grogan scrambles for his life, Charlie Brown.
Yeah.
So I might do that. And again, it's not going to change anything.
I think that's what they were talking about. Jeff and Greg were talking about it on the show, and even on their website, it was mentioned that if you got a long or medium pass and the completion is for like 6 or 7 yards or less, that means that the check downs at the back. So that's kind of built into the game.
Oh,
as far
okay.
as,
So I wasn't thinking. I knew I heard someone say it.
Yeah, because you're not going to go long pass and then have the guy go 2 yards and catch
it. Just doesn't make. Yeah. So I'm just gonna for my own
medium passes. I think are 10 yards and longer. Is what a medium pass was. Short is like.
And you know what's funny? Jason, who's a stats guy, right? I listened to one of his things, and everyone kind of knows this if you've played football or watched football. If you can get positive yards on first down, even if it's just 3 yards, it changes the whole complexity of the drive. So now, you know where you really see this? When you're playing APPA football. Good God, when you don't pick up, especially now playing, and I kind of
2nd and 10, it's tough.
Yeah, 2nd and 10 also. Because it's basically, well, it is tabletop ported to the PC. So I'm using, as I have it upside down, I'm using this defensive chart, which I really like. It comes with the game. But when you don't, like if it's 2nd and 10, they're playing pass. And again, each team is rated off of their defensive points. And be honest with you, even with an injury, it doesn't change that much. Well, defense could change a little bit. But a couple of things I've done, APPA 66, was it APPA 66er? He said he writes the stuff on the envelope. Guess what I'm doing now?
Oh, yeah?
I just write it quick on the envelope. Okay? So, but I do like this chart. And what the hell was my point? I forgot already. Anyway.
You were just using that chart. You said
I'm using the chart. So now it's amazing how well this chart, because I was watching This Week in the NFL, week 1, 1980. I kept playing it on the loop. So it kept, and I'm watching it. So, and I'm listening. And I know the Patriots won because the Cleveland had some boo-boos, and the Patriots beat them pretty easy. It was close for a while, then they blew it open. But now I remember what I was saying. So on 2nd and 10, they're always playing pass here. So you can take that risk and go, I think they're going to play pass defense. I'm going to run an inside run or an outside run. The thing with outside runs, here's another thing, gets you thinking. You're trying to get in field goal range. You better be careful about an outside run because what happens, Uncle Dave? You get that crap roll.
Yeah. How many? There's been times I've been playing in the game and it's just like I'm going in for the field goal and I'm around the 21 yard line. And it's just, I mean, do I want to go short pass? I mean, I'm not going to go for the first down. I just want to get a few more yards. And I've done that so many times and I hand it off up the middle and I get 3 or 4 yards. Perfect. Yeah. That's all I needed. Just a little closer for that field goal.
Because you start looking at that chart and you say, well, he misses from this, he makes from that. It's just, and again, it's not all about APPA right now. It's just the game, Okay, I've gotten most of my APPA stuff off eBay. I did order the football game from APPA. I did not. I'm not knocking APPA. I'm saying I didn't get an email confirmation. They did send something saying this is, and I got it within a reasonable.
You should get an automatic email confirmation from.
I did not get that, so I did get an
folder
email.
Maybe check your spam
You
folder.
made it. Remember we were chatting on Facebook.
I get mine like within an hour.
Now something made sense when you said maybe they had to print it, and my guess is they did because I bought the all-star kind of team thing. I don't think they keep that regularly because that's like a specialty set. So now I did get an email saying they had to increase the shipping, shipping because it was a generic ship of $10.
That means they got it box ready to ship because now they've calculated the shipping because they estimated to $20.
So that's fine. And then, again, I didn't care about that. I'll say this: when I emailed back, I said, "Does this mean it's processed and is going to be shipped?" I got a one-word answer, which was fine. Yes, that's all I cared about. I did not get a tracking number. Which, remember, I kept going.
I didn't either,
I kept going online going, hey, how long, or on Facebook, how long does it take? Because I wanted to get my stuff. And I don't think eBay spoiled us. I just want to know it's coming. Now, that being said, it wasn't too long after. Once I got, yes, it's being shipped. Yeah. I got it. I want to say 6 business days. 5-6 business days. But I had waited a while before I got any type of So it took a little bit. But my guess is when you said something last night when we were chatting, I bet you they had to print it. It would be nice if they said that.
Someone mentioned today that 1981 was out of stock in football because that's the one I just got.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, I'm glad I got it. And they said it should be back
That's
in
a good
stock
year.
soon. So
because the one thing when you get stuff from eBay, and I've been lucky, don't get me wrong, I've been very lucky. You might have a mistake. You know what I mean? There might be someone like I thought I was getting 79. I got 80, but you know what? I'm like, 80 is a hell of a fun year. But because I heard you talking, I was like, oh, I'm going to buy 80 from APPA when it comes out.
Well, they're remaking that, yeah.
Now I have it, but I probably might get it again. It won't be
I
my
like
immediate.
the newer cards. I have the old set of 79, and you have to use the old charts and the old way. I just like the newer cards. They're brighter for me. They're better for my eyes because they're white. They're not like yellow.
Yeah.
I like the master symbols. I can choose to use them or not. What I did learn from our chat with Jeff and Greg is that on some of the defensive cards, even the offensive cards like the linemen and stuff, they have ratings for offense and defense. So when you're calculating your defensive number, it may sway a couple of points depending on who's good with the run and who's good with the pass. So I was like, oh, that's something I might incorporate.
Right. So they split it up
and it also has the quarterback sack ratings on there. So, the guys who's got the most sacks will be like a QS 8 or 9.
Yep.
And someone who got only a sack or two will be QS 1. So when I have a sack, I roll the dice and I take a look.
Thing. You're talking about that on the 80 card, on the original 80 set, because that's what I picked up without knowing. They don't have. I use the QS thing also, like on the new set I bought from APPA, because I'm sitting there going like, oh, that's the guy who most likely got the sack. Again, I'm just picking. I'm not rolling the dice.
Yeah.
Saying that's
what I do is I roll the dice and like the top guys like 1 to 10, and then the bottom guys. So if I roll a 20, I look for a guy that's got like a QS 1. That's like so he got a rare sack. If I roll 1 to 5, it's the top guy. So.
After further review with Steve Tower says, if you're worried about how easy it is to read a card, you may be over 50. Well, we are.
Well over 50.
Well over. So, but I'm just enjoying APPA football. I like to thank everyone who's played. You know what's funny? I watched the game, and I'm sitting there going, people say it's complicated. Like you look at it, it's so easy.
It is.
You start remembering. I see a 19 or an 8, like for certain things, like, oh, that's incomplete. But I look at
17s and 18s are incomplete, and then you see the 36s, and you're like, well, it's a flag on the play. I know that
could be a big play though.
Yeah, I've had some TDs with a flag.
Yeah,
and it's just like, oh, I had that in the last game I played. I think it was the St. Louis New England game in '78, and Jim Hart threw it, and yep. So he got the touchdown with a flag, and I rolled. And do you notice one thing on the penalty chart that I just finally picked up on?
What is that?
If you roll on the penalty chart, or even on the fumble chart, I think doubles are good for the offense.
Oh, I didn't pick up on that.
So if you roll, I don't know if it's all the time, but I found that like. So when I rolled that flag, okay, it's 36, touchdown on the pass, flag. I rolled like a 33 or a 66 or something like that, and it was like holding on the defense, pass interference on the defense. Whereas if you roll a 43, it's holding on the offense. So the doubles, when you roll doubles on the penalty, you're like, oh no, it's good. It's on the defense.
I'm gonna have to check that. The As they're talking about, so Steve Tower says, I'm still a year and a half until I hit the big 5-0. He's a puppy. So I'm going to live life to the fullest.
I don't even remember anything before.
Until 50. Then.
I don't even remember anything last year.
Exactly. But yeah, I'm enjoying APPA football, APPA baseball. Because people have talked about APPA basketball, which I guess was horrific. How did they mess that up then? Because I'm looking at it, go, why did they I bet you they overcomplicated it. That would be my guess.
Well, no, I think from what it was a pass-by-pass game.
Oh, wow.
So if you I don't know what basketball games you play, but if you're going down and so you play strat. So you're rolling for basically every sequence. So every 12 or 24 seconds, you're rolling to take the shot.
Yep.
So that's going to be a long game because
Oh, absolutely.
every 24 seconds, you're rolling for a shot, and then you get foul shots and fouls and all that stuff. So picture if you were rolling for every pass and every play to set up the shot. So you might be rolling 5, 6, 7, 8 times in that 24-second span. So that was the joke. It just took weeks to play a game because you were going
Because I
pass
was
by
thinking,
pass by pass.
here's what I was thinking. They should revamp that to not pass by pass, but possession.
Right.
Okay, because
almost like baseball, you roll for the batter.
That's what I'm saying. Possession. It will say, and then you could, if you wanted to play real basic or the master, it breaks it down more. You could do by possession. I was sitting there thinking about that the other night because I have no life. No, I'm kidding. Glenn Victor, APPA basketball was the worst game I ever owned. Yep, pass by pass. See, I think you can do possession by possession, where, and you can throw a little something different in there, like to mix it up a bit. But I think possession, you roll the thing. What happened here? Oh, this is what happened, and it could give the chart would give the description.
I think the SSG basketball from Joe Bryan over at Payoff
I've
Pitch.
played that. Yep.
Okay, I think I had a PDF of that, and I printed out a couple teams, and I played that, and I did like that. I just don't know enough about basketball to make it work, but I like the idea that you roll to see what happened on the play. So Larry Bird's got the ball. Does he shoot? Is he fouled? Did he turn it over? That 100 die roll there, the 0 to 100 roll or whatever it was.
The thing with a basketball game, because I have the PDF also, and I try to play it with all dice rolls. It takes a long time. You kind of have to mix it, I would think. And I didn't play enough, but use the cards for certain things and then roll the dice for other things, or use the cards for everything. But I kind of like rolling the dice too. Mark Jones says a shorter version of APPA Hoops. What the shorter version of APPA Hoops was better. So maybe that was the basic game. I don't know.
Maybe.
Philip Reynolds says he likes Highlight Maker Hoops. Now that is
play. Yeah.
Yeah. That's not.
They're coming out with their full game now for that.
And I'm interested in that. Can I ask you a quick question? Because you've played second season football, right? Because I haven't even broken out my cold snap. But that is second season's not highlighted, right?
No, that's another play-by-play.
Okay, good. So I'm assuming, because I've seen some old videos on Cold Snap, and it was like a highlight game. And I was like, oh boy, what did I get myself? Because I'm not a big highlight.
They have the express version of the football.
Yeah.
Where you roll, and it's not really drive by drive, but you roll to see, you move down the field kind of quick. So it's like you roll the dice, and it's just like, did I move down the field? Yeah, I moved 2 zones. Okay. Then I moved another zone. Now I don't move. I got to kick the field goal, things like that. So you can, it plays a lot. It's like a 20, 30-minute game,
After further review with Steve Tower, and please check out and subscribe to that channel. I can neither confirm or deny that Prime Time is ready to roll on my tabletop. Dave Little, I played the full game at the get-together today. Can't wait to get my hands on it for real.
Oh,
awesome.
Nice.
Awesome. That is cool. So, I've been playing a lot of APPA. We had fun we played the Tuck rule game and the Roughing the Passer game reimagined, where I took both teams that, ironically, because you could do it. You could do it anyway, but they're both Raiders, Patriots. I said, let me take both teams that lost. We'll play it in Schaefer Stadium in Foxborough. I'll have the snow, so it's sort of like the Tuck game. And if you didn't watch it, I'll tell you anyway. It was a close game, and one thing happened. Tim Fox made the pick, and then we steamrolled them because now the offense started to roll. I just needed that one break because I couldn't get anything going. Pro Strategy Football is such a fun PC game.
It's what it is. It's pure fun.
It is pure fun, and I've said this before, and I'll say it again. When you're playing a season, I believe, in my opinion, the results are realistic. Now, your stats are going to be inflated because you get 4 running backs, you get X amount of receivers. So, it's a game to have fun. And it's just to see, if you download the mods, to see all of the uniforms. Now, Philip Reynolds says it reminds him of Tecmo Bowl. Originally, I said yes. But then I go back and I look at Tecmo Bowl and I look at the beautiful job they do in Pro Strategy Football. All free. People out of love do it.
Yeah.
I think he had to pay a little bit for he brought someone in for the animation to update it. But that's one of my favorite things to do. Okay. I also played the Super Bowl, was it 42 when the Patriots were 16-0? Obviously, they win the playoff games, so whatever, they won 3, but their regular season 16-0. They're going to play the Giants. We all know what really happened.
Mm-hmm.
In 2nd and 10, I get stopped at the 2-yard line to lose the game. Now, my thought process, and if I had to do it over, when you sit there and you're sitting there going, and I can't remember who, was it Mark Jones? He said, throw it to Moss. And if I was playing, say, action PC football, because you can do certain things, I would have lined all my receivers up to one side and have Moss. I would have, finagled it to what, and I would have lobbed it to the corner. But because I'm playing 2nd and 10, I'm sitting there going, they're going to play pass. I don't think they're going to play the run, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Lawrence Maroney had a monster game, but he was tired. That's built into 2nd and 10,
Mm-hmm.
And I said, I'm going to run like a draw or so. I think I just ran and he got stopped. We were on the 3, he got stopped on the 1 by Strahan, and we lose. So, but that was a fun game. When we played in Strat, we ended up steamrolling them, right? So that was fun too. So I lost in 2nd and 10. I won in Strat. Because here's the thing in Strat, and I've said this before. I tell people at work who are sports fans, right? I say, people say you can't run the ball in the NFL. You sure can.
Mm.
You know what I do if I'm an NFL coach? I'm going to get me some big receivers, and I'm going to get me some tight ends, and you can find them. Tight ends who can catch, right?
Yeah.
And I'm going to come out with a 2 tight end, 2 wide receiver set, and sometimes I'm going to split one of those tight ends out, like send them a little away from the line. And I'm going to sit there. You have to, the other team has to respect the pass there. If you have good offensive linemen, they get a push, your guy's going to go. You see it now in football when you watch. They just don't stick with it. I know the defense tries to adapt to it, and the other thing, Teresa was laughing. In the drive I had on 2nd and 10, I had no timeouts left. I look at the time. I'm like, I have 1:30. I could go down the middle 2-3 times.
Mm-hmm.
If you watch NFL football now, the defenses are so concerned with playing the out. You'll see teams go right down the middle.
Oh, yeah.
Mahomes does it all the time because he's smart.
Yep.
But anyway, that's a fun little project. Like I did that.
That was neat. I saw you mixing up those teams. That was fun.
Yeah.
I've been thinking about, Al, is especially with the football game. Hi, Mike. I have got so many what if scenarios I want to do. Like what I'm going to do is I get the 76 season.
Yeah.
I'm going to take the 76 Patriots and I'm going to have them play the Vikings in the Super Bowl.
That's a fun one. That's a fun one.
What would happen if they didn't get the roughing the passer and they beat the Raiders and then they beat the Steelers?
I think
what if the Patriots and the Vikings met in the Super Bowl? I think that'd be a fun game.
Absolutely.
There's a few others I want to do too.
Are you going to do that app on tabletop or are you going to do that PC?
Oh no, that'll be APPA.
Because you have 76.
I have 76. Yeah.
Okay, here, let's throw this out to the chat because I torture Nurse Teresa, who it's her birthday soon. Happy birthday to my Bella. I'm sitting there going, I'm looking at 2007 APPA. I'm looking at 76 APPA, and I'm looking at 74 APPA. Because I want to have Plunkett's best year with the Patriots, not stat-wise, but win-wise, was 74. They went 7-7. They pooped themselves down the stretch. They should have made the playoffs because they beat some good teams, and then they lost. It was the beauty about the Patriots is during that time period, and Uncle Dave Gardner would tell you, like you look at 1979, how they didn't make the playoffs is beyond me because they lost to team. They beat teams they probably shouldn't have, and then they're playing like teams they should steamroll, and they lose.
Yeah, they had some weird seasons between.
Oh yeah,
they were so good in 76 and even in 78, And it's just like, man, they just couldn't push it to the next level, you know?
Yeah. D. Scott Howard says, remind me what season mods for Pro Strategy Football cost. You got to dig deep. 0. They're beautiful.
You just have to download them and install them, you know?
Yep. After further review with Steve Tower, 1976 Pats, only team to beat the Raiders. That's right. They crushed them in Foxborough.
Yep. So I'm going to play that one. I'm going to play the Patriots, Vikings, go Bruins. I think, did the Bruins win tonight?
I think they did.
They were up 3-1 in the third, but I don't know if they hung on or not. I guess I'll have to check that.
Uncle Dave's going to give us a hockey update.
I guess, yeah.
Doug Hunt. Hi, Doug. So, yeah, that's cool. So you're going to do that in the tabletop? Oh, now that's fun. So here's I'm going to throw this out to the chat. And I don't know yet which one I'm going to get. 2007 interests me because, don't tell me they lost. Don't tell me they lost. Do not tell me they lost to Toronto or to Toronto. They're playing Toronto, right?
Yeah, no, the Bruins won.
Oh, did you?
What was I saying the other day to you? I'm like, Al, I need a Patriots season.
But you didn't want 2007.
2007, it's like the boogeyman. It's like, Ron's like, that's their best team. They're so good. I'm like, yeah, but it didn't end well. And I was leaning towards like 2005.
Yeah.
Because that's the year after. They don't have 2004. Otherwise, I would get 4.
Right.
But 2005 is the year that they didn't get back to the Super Bowl. So it might be kind of fun to have them go to the Super Bowl that year.
Is that the game? That is the game.
They lost.
They blew the lead against the Colts. Is that the game they blew the lead against the Colts?
No, I think they lost to the Jets, actually.
Oh, was that one of the oh crap. What's his face? The defensive guy was their coach.
They beat the Jaguars and then came home and the Broncos beat them in 05, 06. That was Jake Plummer.
What a horrible quarterback.
So they went to Denver and lost, but I thought
they never went in Denver ever.
The only reason I wanted to get that I thought about 05 was because they still had Adam Vinatieri, but when I looked, he was only hitting 80% that year, so that's not a good year for him.
Everyone talks about Adam, and I love Adam, but Gostowski, stat wise, is the better hitter.
The only thing I don't like about Gostowski is just every time I looked up, he was missing a kick, and it was a crucial kick, and you're just like, how do you miss this extra point? How do you miss this field goal? But he was hitting like 90%. And
Vinatieri was when Jim Plunkett went to the Raiders. Okay,
yeah,
Jim Plunkett. I'm not gonna say he had pretty stats, but man, when he had the ball, if the game was close, I'm like, he's gonna find a way to win. When he was healthy with the Raiders, as healthy as you can be at that age, and he just frightened me. And I like Jim Plunkett. I've always liked Jim Plunkett. I hate the Raiders. I hated the Raiders, but I like, and even, I was rooting as a kid, I was rooting for Philly to beat the Raiders.
Me too.
But when they won, I was happy for Jim Plunkett because I had heard the stories about Jim Plunkett, and his parents were blind. And then my dad and my brother would relay the stories how he basically was a lot of the Patriot offense, and he got beat up really bad on that team.
Right. Yeah.
And you just see the interviews, and I would read stuff about him. He was just he's a nice guy. And so it didn't bother me too much. Kevin, horrible when he came to the Titans. Who was horrible?
Gotts. I don't know who Gotts is.
Yeah. Lost me there, Kevin. Yeah. 2006. That was horrific.
That's the other year I was looking at.
Patriots would have killed Chicago that year.
Well, that's what I wanted to play. I was going to get APPA 2006 and have them play, but they're out of stock. They don't have it anymore. I'm like, man.
I can't say for a fact they would have killed Chicago because it never happened, but I think they would have handled the Bears easy.
Yeah. Yeah. And then
that Bears team was what's his face? Rex. What the hell is the quarterback's name? The kid from Florida, the Gators. Rex
Grossman.
Yeah. Was he the starting quarterback on that team? I think he was.
Yeah.
Was it Rex Grossman?
29-17, and it was Peyton Manning and Rex Grossman. Yep.
He was
Yep.
not a good quarter. That's
Yeah.
probably one of the worst. Again, every professional player is good. When I say
They were
bad, I just mean
13-3.
not because
The
of Rex
Bears were
Grossman.
they were 13-3 in that NFC North, So that wasn't a bad
So
season.
you have it up. What were the records of those other teams? Because if just out
Which
of
one you
curiosity,
looking for? In 2006?
yeah, in the North, NFC North. They
NFC North. All right, so the Packers were 8-8.
okay.
The Vikings were 6-10, and the Lions
Okay.
were 3-13.
Yeah. So the other funny thing, I was looking at because how the Rams. You were talking about the Rams, right?
There was only in the NFC. Check this out.
In 2006.
In 2006, there were only 5 teams over 500. The Eagles were 10-6, the Cowboys 9-7, the Bears 13-3, the Saints 10-6, and the Seahawks 9-7.
Was Tony Romo the quarterback then?
Everybody else was 8-8 or worse in the NFC.
Was it Bledsoe?
It was
it Bledsoe?
Romo and Bledsoe.
Okay.
And that's why I was going to get that 2006 season, because that looked like a fun one.
That could be a fun season, yeah.
But they were out of stock, so I don't know if that's an older set that they don't have. But 2006 is out of stock.
So
now I'm looking at 05 or 07. 07 stings. It really does. It really does.
Got it, Kevin. Thank you. Gostowski was bad. Yeah, his career was done when he went there. I forgot he went there. You're right. You know what pissed me off? Because I've been playing some of the when I do actually, I always forget to say this when people go, do you play modern seasons? I always go, no. But with Action PC football, when I get it, I usually play the Patriots, the regular season, right? The prior season. And they had traded, I'm playing now, but they traded Folk, the kicker, and that just pisses me. Sucks, really.
Oh, they haven't had, they've had some struggling kickers there.
Good night, Uncle Dave Little.
Bye, Dave. But yeah, so I'm trying to figure out a season too. I mean, I do have a few Patriot seasons, but I really wanted a good Brady Manning matchup in APPA football season. And I thought like 05 or 06 would be a good one.
I've been looking at, I know it's been APPA chat. We'll go to other things too, and tell us what you're doing in the chat, your projects and what you're looking forward to. This is your chat as well. Obviously, it's the FOC. I've been looking at those great team leagues for the football, and they look fun, but it's that first one set looks really, because you get 2007 Patriots and you get the 2006 Colts.
Yeah.
That's, I'm looking at it, and they give you some old school teams too. But I really, okay. So just to get back to it, I've been playing like the all-star sets, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they're teams, but they're all very good players. This is the 80s, the first time I played a season. I've discovered it's a lot of fun to play the season. The all-star sets are fun, don't get me wrong, but they're all even. Now, the other thing I've noticed with APPA, because remember we were all like, oh man, all this setup, I don't get it. Why do you have to? I look at the team, right? It's right away when I start counting the offense, they're Bs. Most everyone's going to be a B.
Yeah.
B offense with an A modifier, with passing. There's no modifier in the basic game for running the ball.
That's why you get these. You get the defensive cards for $7, and so there's 7. So let's just say you were playing and you were, you're a -4, so you're in the -4 cards. That means your defense is 4 less than the offense.
So the defense is poor.
So you could have, for example, all right. So you're playing the game, and you have your C receivers, all right, and you got to throw to them once in a while. You can't just keep going to the A.
Yeah, guys. I know. I do that too.
Right. But so, for example, I'm going to go medium pass, and I'm going to go to my C receiver, whoever it is. He's a C. Well, if you're playing the team with a -4, just for example, I roll for their defensive play. So I roll a 51. Okay, my pass is now, it says AD. So it means they're playing deep. They're playing for the pass, but my index is A. So that C bumps up to a B on passing.
Because it's two.
Because it's two different.
And it only goes up 1. Yep.
It only goes up 1. And it could only go down. So if you're an A receiver, it could only go down is if you roll a C. So if I rolled a 52, I'm playing CG. So it means I'm playing ground, but I'm in the C index, which
Right.
means, so now that receiver, so if it's Troy Brown, he's an A, he's going to be a B. But I'm rolling off a BG now, so I'm rolling off the ground. But what I love about these, and again, people like them, some people hate them, is that it's going to get
it's a preference for everyone.
It's going to get like any card here. Now, the closer you get to the plus 25 is the best. You're going to be in C index the entire game. And at the other flip side, if you're in minus 25, you're going to be in A because the defense is terrible.
Yeah.
But it's always in the middle somewhere between like 7 and 7,
But
7 and minus 7.
It's brilliant, whichever way you do it.
Yeah. And I just like the fact that when I roll an A, that's good for the offense. So that means to me, as we paint our theater of the mind, somebody on the offense made a play that's going to maybe give them a better result, or somebody on the defense slipped and fell or misread an assignment. So A is better for the offense. And then when I roll and I get a C, that means, oh my gosh, they are dialed in on this. They are keying on this guy. The defensive coordinator is right on because that's a C. So it's going to make this run or this pass so much more difficult. So that's why I like doing that. So you're not always just in B, 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 B. It's like on any given play, and these cards are weighted. So the better defenses are going to give you more C's, and the lesser defenses are going to give you more A's. And to me, it just every single play.
You're enjoying that.
Yeah, I'm enjoying the fact that on any single play, something different can happen.
I just started using this because I was just using a generic dice roll.
I was using that's a good.
And this is actually pretty fun to me. Do I have it upside down again? Yes, I do. So I'm in this game. At some point, I probably will get those defensive cards. But let me go to Robert here, Robert Corsair, and I apologize if I mispronounce your last name. He says, I have been replaying every start of Tom Seaver's career. Wow. Using exact lineups up to 1978 right now. That is cool. How is it going with that?
Yeah, and what game?
Oh, what game? Excellent. What game?
Strat, APPA, replay.
Or are you using multiple games? Are you using a PC game? That's a lot of fun there. Glenn Victor, I've got 3 projects going.
I've been following the Cup playoffs.
I've been following the Stanley Cup playoffs. He's into his semifinals. Action PC, 1988 NFL replay. Okay. And then 2nd and 10 for his hockey 81 Action PC, 1988 NFL replay 2nd and 10, 1934 MLB replay PC. What a fun game replay PC baseball is. I think one of the most aesthetically pleasing card and dice games ported to a computer. Steve Tower. I've been replaying every Joyce DeWitt start and battle of Network Stars. So far, she's undefeated. I agree.
Steve, it must be exhausting.
Doug Hunt likes that kind of. But yeah, you
know what I got here, Al?
What do you have there, Uncle Dave?
So I'm playing. my my APPA 79 baseball. So I have Ed Ott here, 79 Pittsburgh Pirates. Right. I once in a while will go to Chris White and I will get my envelopes done.
Yep.
I mean, how cool is that? He does the envelopes up. He puts, whatever they are, and it's just so much better than just your bland envelopes like that. Nothing wrong with these.
No, nothing wrong, but it is. I have them too. I've made a couple of purchases from Chris White. I got like the All-Star set for up to 1979.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't have the modern players up to 79. So that's fun. And I have the World Baseball Classic set, which is fun.
Oh yeah.
That was fun. Again, because I don't want to always. His stuff is a little more expensive, but he puts a lot of effort into it.
Oh, jeepers. Yeah, they look nice.
So when I go there, I want to make sure I want to get something I really want.
I'll wait until I have a few seasons, and then I send them an order. And it's like, because sometimes they'll have specials if you get more than one season.
Robert says, Uncle Dave, using multiple games so far, Strat, Ballpark, Replay, APPA, and now season ticket. Seaver is 212 and 112, 2.59 ERA. That is awesome. That's a fun project, boy.
Robert, which game do you think he's performing better in?
Oh, great question.
Just one. I mean, and I'm not judging any of the games.
No.
The only one I haven't played Ballpark, but I played all the others, and I do.
I'm not familiar with Ballpark. I've seen season
ticket.
I've played Strat. I've played APPA.
Played Replay.
I played replay on the PC.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
So
I don't know
which one he's doing better in.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with that.
Season ticket's fun. I was playing that.
Now, is
last
season
night,
ticket
tonight.
is season ticket the 3 columns?
No.
Or am I getting that mixed up with the other one?
No. What season ticket is you have the pitcher card and a batter card, and you roll a 6-sided die and 2 10s. Okay, the 6-sided die determines where you're looking. 1 and 2 is off the pitcher card.
Okay.
3 and 4 is the batter card. A 5 is a defensive check, and 6 you roll off the stadium.
Interesting.
So it's again, it's third pitcher, third batter,
now,
and third defensive stadium.
Who has the season ticket? Who's the creator of that? Because I get
that's the guy who does the mogul games, the sports football.
Dreslock.
Play Dreslock.
Okay, Dreslock. I'm sorry. Okay. Yep. Okay. I know which one that is.
It is. I think they're the best looking cards in the game. I think they just look the best, how he has them laid out. I do like that.
Kevin Thomas, replaying the Nashville Predators 2016-17 playoffs in Strat. That's hockey.
Oh, interesting.
This was their only time making the finals. They currently lead the first series against Chicago 3-1. Cool. Is that Strat PC or card tabletop? Which again, Strat hockey plays just like the tabletop on the PC.
Yeah, it does,
the thing with the PC when you're playing the tabletop on the PC, it does the heavy lifting.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that's fun. You know, like I've said this before. Sometimes when you have your free time, I want to play. I don't want to set up.
Yeah.
I want to sit and play.
Yeah.
Would I rather roll dice? I'm going to be honest with you. Yes, I have a lot of fun.
Yeah.
My stream, whether I'm streaming or not, if I stream, I talk to the chat. It goes much longer than if I play, but I don't care. I'm having fun.
Mm-hmm.
But there are times where, like if I want to do boxing, right? I'm thinking to myself, I want to play boxing. Would I prefer to play Glory Days boxing? Yes, but then I have to set it all up. And here's something. If someone knows a programmer,
I'm gonna get a season ticket card. I'll show you what they look like. Hang on one second.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So Uncle Dave's gonna get a season ticket card. Robert says, to be fair, they all seem to be giving accurate stats. This is his Tom Seaver, which is really cool. Tom Seaver career replay as played. I keep mixing and matching to keep it fresh. That is so cool. Kevin says season ticket is great. And Uncle Dave's going to show me a
season ticket is really good. So here's a 1986 Dwight Evans card. Oh, I just rolled over my cord. There we go. So I'll show you what the player card looks like, and then I'll show you a pitcher card. All righty. So here's Dwight Evans. Okay, now there's.
Oh, they're fairly big.
Yeah, they're bigger. So if I can get that to focus in. So this is an APPA card.
Yep.
Okay, so that's the size.
I kind of like that.
Now, what I like about it is, see how clear everything is?
Yes.
It's like his name, his age, where his fielding, his power, his batting, his lefty-righty split. So you can see how it says 300 under batting.
Yes.
And then on the other side, it's like 400. So that's your 3 and 4 roll. So 300 through 500, because that's your 3 and 4 roll. That's going to be that's the batter cards. And we talked about pitcher card and batter card. So anytime you roll a 3 whatever or a 4 whatever, it's the batter.
You're going
card.
up the batter.
Yep. Now for pitchers, who I want to show you for a pitcher.
Now, did you order a print version or is that a PDF?
These are PDFs and they print and cut so easily.
Really?
I don't know how they do it, but they do it. All right, so I'll show you our Bob Stanley.
Are you using 110 cardstock?
I'm using 110 cardstock. How he has it laid out is that when you print it, you just cut it in thirds and in half and you're done. There's no lines, no nothing. And these things are, I mean, I'm telling you, you can't see it on the thing. They are just razor sharp. This is just me cutting. I just found the spot on my cutter that cuts it in thirds and I'm done. Now here's the pitcher card.
Yeah. So if you roll a 1 and a 2. It's okay. I see that
Yep.
now. I understand.
Yep. So there's the pitcher card.
Yep.
So if you got a 1 or a 2,
Now, does the blue and red, is that of any significance?
yeah. See, the blues are hits or walks.
Okay. Oh, the
So
reds
you
are
got
outs.
Yeah, and the reds. Well, the reds are. I mean, you get redirected.
Okay.
So on that pitch, let's just say you roll the 111.
Yeah.
And it says so 100 to 120 says 3xx. What that 111 is going to be 311. So you keep the 3, and so now you would go to Dwight
hitter.
Evans and look at his 311, and 311 is most likely a strikeout.
Strikeout.
Yeah. So that's a strikeout.
Well, that's
so that's how it works.
Interesting concept.
It was kind of neat. Here's your defensive check over here. So, if you rolled a 595,
Yeah.
So a 9 is right field. So pitch 9 is right field.
Yeah.
It would be an out. If you rolled a 599, it would be over here, be a single, and then the runner at second might score.
Oh,
so
wow,
that's kind of how.
very...
So the two cards again, you get the pitcher card and the batter card. And I love how they're laid out. I mean, just how sharp they are. They're just so clear. They're color coded, so you know what's good and what's bad. I think black is out and blue is like you get on base, and anything red you're going to go to a different chart. And what's really fun is
now
like
how many again? Because I listen when a lot of because if it's a baseball game, I'm just listening, in the background, and I don't really look a lot. Unless that's on the weekend where I would be sitting there playing a game, watching and listening. So how many charts are with this game?
None.
Everything's off the card?
Everything's off the card. The only thing that I use is so again, everything's right there. As long as you know what everything is, you're all set.
Wow.
Okay. Now what I do is there's a little like cheat sheet that comes there or that kind of breaks it down. So it's like, what is F9? What is 1B plus? What is F7 plus /R2? So that stuff there, it's on a sheet and it kind of explains it.
Yeah.
But once you start memorizing what everything is, okay, F7 plus, that means, the guy in third scores, So if you can memorize it, you don't need the charts. It's nice to have them off to the side so
just in case
reference them.
So,
but yeah, no, everything comes off the card. What's really fun is if I look here, where's my my Dwight Evans again, or whatever. So if on a Stanley card, you start to memorize things too. So on a Stanley card, no matter who you're playing, if he a 258 to 299 is a deep drive. All righty. Yeah. So when you start rolling high 200, oh gee, but Stanley's giving up a bomb.
Yeah.
So you start. So then you actually have
to
go
ballpark
to
there.
You go to the ballpark chart, which is this. So you will need this chart here. So then you would go to deep drives, and then you would roll on that against
now.
Their
Does
power.
each ballpark have that?
Yep, each ballpark has their own little chart.
Oh, Jacobs Field, yeah.
So you can do over here. You can do weather before the game. I don't. In the middle, this is just 600.
Yeah.
So when you roll a 6, this is what you're looking at on the chart, and the deep drives are over here. It's just really fun. But like I say, so Spike Owen, if he's facing a lefty, and again you roll high 400s, he's going deep left. So it's so again you get the high 200s here, and Stanley's
so it does have a lefty righty split built into it.
Yeah, it does. Now again, if you roll the 1. You're coming over here. If you roll the 2, you go to the split. So it's got both, and even
cool.
the batters. So Spike Owen again, he's got his regular batting and then the rest lefty righty. So depending on what you roll, it's really kind of a neat system.
It does look interesting. Thank you for explaining. So the Tom Seaver, Red Sox,
and they card everyone. So
if you want to do and as played, you can do it.
There's some guys here that played 1 or 2 games.
So you have a catcher then on that team. His last name is Sachs.
I have Wes Gardner, who down the bottom played 1 game.
He's a pitcher. Yeah,
he played 1 game.
You have Dave Sachs' brother, who's a catcher for the Red Sox, who actually played well but never got a break.
Well, there's Dave Sachs.
Yep.
He played 4 games.
Steve Sachs, right. Steve Sachs' brother. And if you look at him, he played phenomenal for 4 games, and they never gave him a break.
5 hits, 1 home run in 5 games. His average was 455. I mean, look at his slugging.
Yeah, I know, because in Strat, he's only available for so long on the PC. Every time I get a chance to use a pinch hitter, like I put him up. It's like he's phenomenal. And then
I recommend this. And you can buy the PDF. So when he has them on sale, they're a decent price.
Yeah.
And again, you do have to print them in the whole bit. He does have some for sale. Printed for sale. But again, these just on the 110, they print and they cut so easily. It's just like, oh, forget it. I'll just do it myself.
I have to take a look at those then.
It's very fun.
I just want to go back to Kevin Thomas. He says he's doing that replay in card and dice Stratomatic hockey.
Oh, okay.
Doug Hunt concurs. Season tickets easiest to cut out on PDF, ready to play.
Oh yeah. Seriously, it's so evenly spaced that I put it on the cutter and I cut it in thirds, and then I cut those in half, and it's perfect. And yeah, I know that I shouldn't have put the Stanley up there. I'm sorry.
You know, he wasn't a bad pitcher. We make fun of him, and he was not a bad pitcher.
It just he didn't always come through. Is that what it is?
Yeah, you know, Rich Gedman should have caught the damn ball. The more I look at it, and I love Rich Gedman. He's from Worcester. Mark Russell, replaying the full 1949 MLB season, card and dice strat, using the as-played lineups from the Sporting News box score, cool, up to April 21st. It's going to take a while. So you're playing every game then. That's amazing. That's the horrific. The Red Sox going to New York. They need to win one game to go to the World Series. They don't. They don't. Doug Hunt.
Who ended up going?
Yankees. They had to beat the Yankees once in New York, and they didn't. You can find the final game. I think they lost in extra innings, and then the last game of the season, that radio call is on YouTube. It's absolutely, you sit there and you can also find the game that cost the Red Sox in 72. Again, yes, there was that strike. They played one less game, but they went to Detroit with their destiny in their hands. They couldn't do it. And you sit there and you go, Clinton Parks, what a great week. Tossed a dead ball no-hitter, 2-1, and tossed a 22-inning game, NP3, one on a stolen base. Cool. You know, I fooled around with NP3. That's a PC game. Very APPA-ish. Until I played APPA, I looked at it and go, I don't understand this game, because I got the free demo, right? Because I kept looking at it, and I may purchase that in the future. That game plays wicked quick, and if you know APPA, it's really fun. No bells or whistles, but really fun.
Yep.
Mark's doing all American League and National League games. Cool. Richard Atoni, 1949, first of 5 straight pennants for the Yankees. Yep. Mark Russell, the full final Sox-Yanks game on YouTube radio broadcast. I listened to it. I've listened to it twice. It's you sit there and you cringe. Even though you know they're going to lose, you sit there and you go, Clinton Parks, nothing like it, Mark. Playing full seasons, I use NPG Plus and NP3 and Status Pro. Steve Tower. All right, friends, I've got to turn in. One last shout out to Joyce DeWitt, who turned 75 and still looks amazing. Happy gaming, friends. Do you think that Steve Tower had some alone time when he was young with Joyce DeWitt? Maybe.
I'm thinking he still does, but that's just me.
Yeah, it could be right. Roger Horn. I'm currently rolling game 156 of the 1989 Oakland A's replay APPA Basic while listening to you talk. Cool. I picked up on eBay 2004 APPA. These cards are newer. I don't know if they have the master stats, but what I do like,
they're the older ones.
They have this, and that's cool. The like what they did, which I like. The old cards don't have that.
Yeah.
But the
well, they might be the new. I don't know. They're not the new ones. I don't.
No, I don't see. These are Like they give you, like Johnny Damon, he batted 304, 20 homers, 94 ribbies. So it gives you the stats. It does not, I don't think it gives you the J1, which is the injury, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But what this person did, that's kind of cool. They did it for all the cards. Again, I got that off eBay, and I play basic, so I'm happy with it. But I want to get the football seasons I'm looking at for APPA. I know it's sort of become an APPA chat, but we'll go out to elsewhere eventually. Like I said, I'm looking at 74, 76, and 2007. Though I do kind of want a Gronk year.
I'm the same way. I'm going through. What do I want to get for a year? Do I want Gronk?
I've learned this from Jason. I've learned it from APPA Club Football, Jeff. I've learned it from APPA 66er. And the person you had who was with Jeff in the interview, I forget his name.
Greg.
Yep. Is it Craig?
Greg and Jeff, yeah.
Greg and Jeff. When you get a season, you savor it. You play. Play the games, especially if you're getting from APPA, because it's an investment. And again, but you mentioned something that I really liked. Sometimes you buy a game and it doesn't click, and you feel like, oh, for the money I've spent on APPA, I'm enjoying it so much that it's worth it. Like even the football game, people go, oh, it's long to play. Well, any play-by-play, game for football is long to play. I was rolling in my cellar and I was just like, oh, I want to do a chat in my mind. I'm looking at the time. I didn't even care. I was like, God, look how late it is. I better go up and do this chat because I'm trying to do it more on a regular basis because I like to hear what the community's doing. And I was lucky enough that Uncle Dave said he wanted to come on. I was happy about that. Mark Russell, fun listening to Mel Allen. Absolutely. He says, good night.
The way I look at it, Al, is the APPA is some of the more expensive stuff because you get so many cards. Especially the football. And people bring up a point. It's expensive and the whole bit, and it's a long game. I get it.
But it's so much fun.
But, the amount of time I just put into the 78 season, and I've already played a handful of 76, and I played the Tuck Bowl 2001. I played my Super Bowl teams. I played Namath and Morrow 68, Jets and Colts. I put so much time into it that it's not bothering me at all, the amount of money I spent, because if I look at the time money factor, there's been some games I spent money on and I played very little.
Yeah, it happened.
I've spent a lot of less money on some other games that I've barely touched.
Yeah.
This one I'm touching, and I have to fight to get it off my table and play something else. That's how much I'm enjoying it, And I look at it like kind of like a high-end restaurant. It's like, we're gonna go drop $100 on dinner tonight. Okay. Yeah. You're not gonna go to this restaurant a lot, maybe once a month,
right?
Maybe once every 6 weeks, but it's not something you're gonna do all the time. So it's like, boy, I really like that restaurant. I know it's $100, but boy, that steak and those desserts are so good. Yeah. And you treat yourself once in a while to that. And you can't just sit there and say, I'm never going there because it's going to be $100.
Here's
why deprive yourself of something you really like?
Here's my problem with APPA. I'm enjoying it so much that I search eBay. Again, I'm playing APPA Basic Baseball. So I don't care if they're old cards because I'm enjoying it, right?
Mm-hmm.
My name is Al. I have a problem. I like to collect seasons. Lots of seasons.
Yeah.
Now with football, I'm not as stupid because I'm sitting there going, wow, these are expensive.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going to play out my the original 80 cards. I'm going to play that out. But I really do want those 3 seasons, and I don't know which one I'm going to get yet.
There's still one more Brady season I want to get, and I don't know what it is. I thought about 2016 when they beat the Falcons. I thought that would be fun.
Yeah.
But Gronk didn't play in the Super Bowl.
I do want a Gronk season with Brady. Now, you could get the Tampa one. I mean, that would be fun, actually, to be honest with you. I would envision them in the old uniforms, though. That's just because that'd be classic. But you know what else? It'd be interesting.
Well, 2014 was the Seahawks, right? And Gronk did play in that one.
Yes. What would be interesting is Hernandez and Gronk. If you look up, like they didn't play together too much because they were always hurt.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be interesting if you got one of those seasons and you sat there and you did a what if they played?
Yeah.
Again, that was an ultimate team if they stayed healthy because you had two guys who could run like receivers and block like linemen, especially Gronk. Phenomenal. Probably one of the greatest tight ends of all time. Again, different eras, but I mean like phenomenal, right? He did everything. He could run deep. He could block. He could crush you, you know? He was phenomenal. Mark Jones, Mark Jones makes his own women's boxing cards using Glory Days Boxing.
Oh, nice.
He's fabulous. Mark Jones is fabulous. And he's doing a women's boxing tournament. Just finished a 78 Yankee replay in Action PC. The Yanks lost the division by 2 to the underrated 78 Brewers. The Brewers could hit in 78. Pitching was a little not bad, but not there. They were a few years away from obviously 81, which was really a fun season for the Brewers. Obviously, they lost to St. Louis, that was a fun World Series too. I remember watching that as a young. I was 81, so I was 11, 10 actually, because I would have turned 11. But that was a really fun World Series. Mark Jones, APPA was my first baseball tabletop game. I'm enjoying it. You know, we'll get to some more of the chat in a moment. The Glory Days Boxing, Anthony's starting to work on, or Glory Days Games, sorry. Now he has a couple of football, college, and professional football games out. They play differently. You can play it play-by-play, quick play, drive, a hybrid of play-by-play. Again, it's a different way of looking at it. Some people, you have to get used to that type with the way it's done.
Yeah.
His boxing game is brilliant. That's just my opinion.
Yeah.
He's starting to work on a wrestling game. He showed off what's the word I'm looking for? Like a beta of the cards.
A preview, yeah.
A preview. And it's not, man, that's going to be fun. That is going to be fun. If you like wrestling, and I like wrestling for that stuff, because you can do whatever you want, man. It's wrestling. And I think the one thing with the wrestling games I have, sometimes they don't play logical. Meaning, because it's a card, and I do like Phil Singer games, they're beautiful artwork, and it's a fun game. But like if you're wrestling Andre the Giant, there's certain things you can't do to him. And you have to put that in your mindset, you know. And they do have little things like, oh, you got to be this type of power to slam him. But also, I know Harley Race slammed him because I've seen it on YouTube, and he doesn't have that power. So in my mind, Harley Race can slam him because I actually seen him do it. But I think wrestling games are fun. So that's coming up. Again, if you know a PC programmer, we've tried and looked to try to get someone to talk to Anthony regarding bringing the Glory Days Boxing to the PC, which would be phenomenal. Every time, Uncle Dave, we think we might have somebody, it falls out. Like you lose community. Like it's so difficult to find someone.
Oh yeah.
And there's a couple of people I'm going to put feelers out to again, but it's just a phenomenal game. Here's the thing I'd like. Jeff had, that's APPA Football Club. He had someone on at the APPA Hall of Fame thing or something. I'm trying to remember now. But the gentleman was talking about what he'd like to see for a PC, like the ones that are ported, you know, like the tabletop to the PC. And I've been saying this, and he said exactly right. It's probably too expensive to make to do this. But my thought is, wouldn't it be cool? And you kind of have it a little bit. Let's say you roll the dice. It's a ground ball to second, and he throws to first. Now you know what it is, but now I get to see it. Yes, you kind of see it a little bit with Stratomatic. You roll the dice, and you kind of see the ball. But wouldn't it be cool to have a little like out of the ballpark, right? You roll the dice.
You have it. You have out of the ballpark, you know.
And you see. Now you know what it is, and now you can visualize the play.
Would it be cool if Out of the Ballpark had manual entry
Yes.
and you could
Play.
watch that?
Yes, that's what I'm getting at. Because I've thought about this for a long time. There's a boxing game that's called, it's a Jim Trunzo worked on it, and it was brought to you by Out of the Ballpark, the people who had at the time Out of the Ballpark. And you can still buy it for $13. Phenomenal. It's text-based with strategy if you want to control a fighter. And you watch the little guys smack each other. I'm not saying it's great animation, but it's fun animation. You know, it's just something else. And I've always loved to, like, say hockey. Let's just use Action PC for a second, right? And let's just say that let's take animation. Let's say the animation does not have to be like EA Sports, but let's say it's like Out of the Ballpark type animation, right? You rolled your dice, like you said, and then you inputted it. Or the computer rolled it and you saw it. You could have two different ways of doing it. And then you see the shot on net and the save. Or you see the touchdown. You know, think of pro strategy football. If you could,
that's what I'm thinking. Pro strategy football for hockey, something like a Sega Genesis.
Roll, but it's in an open engine, but with a little more animation for the PC. Yeah. I'm talking about when you want to play PC.
Yeah.
Obviously, we use our imagination, but I don't think that'd be awesome. I don't know. I just think it'd be awesome. Kevin Thomas, love boxing games. My son likes Title Bout 2, so I play that with him, but I prefer Glory Days. Love those cards. Glory Days boxing to me. And I play Title Bout 2 on the PC, which I love. I just don't like card flipping. It's just me, but I play it on the PC. Glory Days boxing to me flows. I get to roll dice. It's more random, and I like that. Oh, you thought about 2010 for football?
Yeah, that he brought up a point that they were 14-2, Brady MVP, Gronk and Hernandez on the team.
Oh, yes, over here. Okay, I missed that.
The Jets. I don't know how the heck they lost to the Jets, but
Rex Ryan. That's a Rex Ryan team, I think.
But they lost.
That's a Rex Ryan team with
yeah. So I'm looking at that right now.
Was Sanchez the quarterback then?
So it was Green Bay, Pittsburgh, was what it was. I think it was Chad Pennington.
Chad Henning.
Sanchez,
yeah.
Mark Sanchez when they.
Oh, it was Mark Sanchez, but that's a Rex Ryan team.
Sanchez went 16 for 25 for 194 and 3 TDs. Brady went 29 for 45 for 299 and 2 TDs, and he lost. So he threw for 100 more yards, and he lost the game. What can you do?
Yeah, that could be a fun year, and because Gronk and Hernandez, yeah.
Yep. So that starting lineup for New England that day: Brady, Danny Woodhead, Edelman, Brandon Tate, Gronkowski, and Hernandez. Yep, they had 2 tight ends in that game. Will Fork was on the defense. Gerard Mayo, Devin McCourty. Yeah, 2010. Now, the only thing is that the Super Bowl, when I do my What If Super Bowl, they would have to play the Packers and Aaron Rodgers. But
that would be fun, though.
The other thing, Al, I'm thinking that is when I go through my seasons, when I want to get, it's not just New England. I have to find some other guys that I like. And, that would be Ben Roethlisberger. I mean, that's some good stuff there. In 2010, if I just go to the leaders for that season, Peyton Manning's on Indianapolis, Roethlisberger, Brady, Arian Foster was rushing for Houston, things like that. So I like to find some different players to play. Like when I pull out my 76, or 78, I get OJ, In 78, OJ's on San Fran. He's not that good, but he's there.
78, 79, he was done.
And in 76, I have him, so he's there.
I mean, in 1976, I did a little OJ project using Strat years ago on the PC. It's still, you can find it on my channel, but I got him to rush and he was incredible. And that team sucked for Buffalo, where he's getting the ball all the time. And the offensive line obviously is good. You have to have a good offensive line.
Couldn't stop him,
And he got 1,500 yards. Now, in my replay against playoff teams, again, you just feed him the ball. And you don't, again, when you're playing a PC game, right? yeah, you're going to give him the ball in run situations, but you have to also give him the ball in non-run situations, because if you get the wrong defense call, which you most likely will, and you get the pop because he was so good, he's ripping yards off left and right, and it was a lot of fun. But yeah, again, this I understand. I'm talking about the football OJ, right? So let's not. I've always said I've liked OJ. I don't not happy with what obviously happened later on, but I've always liked. I remember the commercials. I remember he was always polite with interviews and stuff. And again, that happened when it happened.
Yeah, before, it is. Yeah.
So, but to me, when you think of like Jim Brown, phenomenal, right? His teams he played on were much better than the teams OJ played on overall, right? Now the Bills had some good teams, okay? Barry Sanders is another one where they were keying him, right? And he didn't play on a lot of good Detroit teams. It's too bad. Who I have, which is really cool at the 1980 team, Billy Sims, who is phenomenal, but he gets hurt. Maybe 82 he gets hurt and he's all done. Billy Sims, like he hurts his knee and he's never the same or something. He hurt his leg, but phenomenal.
Yeah, let me see. So that was Detroit, right?
Yeah.
So Billy Sims. Oh, jeepers, yeah. So he played 80 to 84. In 82 he only played 9 games, and then 13 in 83 and only 8 in 84.
So he got hurt in 82 then.
Yeah, so 80 must have been a rookie. So he did 1,300 yards.
80 was rookie year.
Then 1437 in 81. So the 81 set that I have, he is phenomenal.
Yeah, Detroit almost made the play. Did they make? No, they just missed the playoffs I don't remember. I think they just missed the playoffs in 81. I think.
Let's see here. They were 9-7 and tied with Minnesota, but did not make the playoffs.
Yeah, because they were a good team. They needed that one more win, obviously. Mark Jones updating title about championship boxing. That's the text base with a little animation. He updates it weekly. Mark Jones is incredible.
Hang on, that's another drink. Hang on a second, I'll be right back.
Yeah, no problem. But it's just a lot of fun playing our projects, when we get free time to do that. So I've been playing a lot of APPA, as you know. The other thing that I'm looking forward to is Action PC Football, the 2024 version. It's been delayed till May 1st now. We'll have some projects coming up with that. We're going to finish our Game 5, maybe tomorrow, hopefully. Mets, Phillies, 1978, APPA Basic. Spoiler alert, series tied 2 apiece. Winner take all. Rematch of Game 1. Swan versus Carlton. Swan beat him in Game 1, 3-2. So that's coming up on the channel. We also have our Pro Strategy Football 1978. Kansas City Chiefs, they're 2-2. We've had fun with that, boy. We've had 3 crazy games with the Chiefs in our 78 Pro Strategy Football 2024 replay.
It's funny you're doing that, the 78 Chiefs.
Well, you did it, and I'm doing it also on 2nd and 10, but that's just offline, because I don't want to do too much of the I want to compare it a little bit. And with Pro Strategy Football, I'll say it. If you're doing an as played, don't use that. You can. You can't. You can't because they don't have all the players. Yeah. They have the main players. If you want to get realistic, fun results when it comes to, I think, in my opinion, scores of a game, you can. I looked at 1978. Ron Junket, Uncle Ron, did a 78 replay years ago, and the Chiefs made the playoffs. And I was watching. This is when he was doing his stuff on YouTube. And at lunch, he was doing the football games. And I would listen to it. And he said something. And for some reason, I remembered, right? I go, well, they ran the ball really well. And they lost a lot of. I don't know why I remembered it, but I did. And then we looked it up, and they lost a ton of close games. They were the number 2 rushing team in the NFL. They averaged, what the hell was it? 5 yards per carry almost. They could run the ball. They couldn't pass worth poop. And their defense wasn't the best. But
In my game that I played,
hi, Frank.
it was Kansas City, Cincinnati in week 1.
Yep.
And they what was the score? They tied 16-16.
In reality, they won that game. In my game, I lost horrifically. I lost on a Hail Mary at the end of the game where I sat there. I played prevent, right? I played prevent. I don't like playing prevent. I don't like playing zone in any game. I'm going to match up and then maybe send a blitzer or blah, blah, blah. I don't like playing zone in any football game. I hate it, right? Because to me, a competent quarterback will pick apart a zone eventually, right? And I remember I'm playing. I'm like, well, I mean, they got one play left, right? I know I think they're at the 26 or 28 or 32. They're on, my side of the field. I'm like, I can't play man because I don't have I have to, if I get burnt in man, I'm going to get pissed, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're not going to score in a prevent because you're just sitting back. Everyone's laying back. Don't let them score. With that game in pro strategy football, I've played it so much. I know the little weird animation things that happen. I'm like,
yeah.
I'm sitting there going,
here it comes.
He's going to catch it, and I'm going to lose.
So in the game I played, they were winning 16-6.
Yep.
And then at the end of the third, Pete Johnson scored a 1-yard run to tie to make it 16-13. And the only score in the fourth quarter came at the gun, and it was Chris Barr hitting a 51-yard field goal.
What was the miracle roll there?
It must have been an 11 or a 66 or something like that.
That gets that low roll.
51 yards in 1978 is a long kick.
Yep.
And I remember that game because I was driving down. I'm trying to get in the field goal range. So from the 51, that would be what, from the 34? I got to the 34-yard line, and I'm like, man,
17 at that time.
I'm like, yeah. So like, what do I do? I'm at the 34. It's a 51-yard kick. I says, I don't have a choice. It's time's running out. I got to kick this. And I said,
yeah. How did you feel when you rolled that?
I was shocked that he got it because I think he had missed kicks during the game, and he missed chip shots, and he comes in from 51. So I don't have much of a choice, and I rolled. Son of a gun, he got it.
Rolled many a game in APPA football now.
Mm-hmm.
Have you had, in your opinion, an unrealistic result? I'm not talking about a team winning that didn't win. I'm talking about unrealistic.
The only thing I would say is that on a couple of the quarterbacks, I've rolled ones, and it's 90-yard touchdown pass on a short pass.
Yeah.
Because if you roll a 1, and no matter who you're throwing it to, they're gone.
Yeah.
But so I've had some really long touchdown passes, but I just go with the flow, and I'm like, okay, he dumped it off, and they were playing run, and the guy caught it and got around the safety, and there's no one left. No one's going to catch him, or I come up with some other kind of scenario that I make it fit what happens, but I've had a couple of times. I was playing Houston, Tampa Bay. Okay. 76. So I'm playing the 76 Bucks, and Tampa's winning the game. They get into the fourth quarter, and Houston cannot get the ball over midfield. The defense was holding them back. Tampa's winning the game, and Pastorini throws it off to Kenny Burrow, I think it was, for like 71-yard touchdown.
Yeah.
And that's the only time they get over midfield was on that touchdown play. And I was like, yeah, that kind of sucks, but I just go with it. I did have a game, the Rams and the Eagles, 78 Rams and Eagles, right? I don't know much about those teams, but I'm playing every
Rams
game.
were pretty good in 78. Eagles are starting to get good with Dick Vermeil.
So
they might have made the playoffs in 78 and got bumped in the wild card.
I think they did. And
I think they got bumped in the wild card.
Yeah, Atlanta 14-13.
Yeah, so they were not a bad. I don't know why I remember that stuff.
They were 9-7. That's pretty good. They were 9-7. So anyway, I'm playing Philadelphia and the Rams, and the punter fumbled 2 snaps in a row.
I had that in a game.
And I just kept rolling whatever the number is. It's like F6 or F43 or whatever that number is. It's a fumble on the punter, and it's like 20 yards behind him, and whoever recovers, it doesn't matter. It's that's where it is. But that happened to me twice in the same game, back-to-back punts. This guy lost it. So what I did in my recap, I was like, as you saw my recap show, did you see my Brent Musburger recap show that I did? Yeah. So I was like, now we go to Philadelphia in a pouring rain. The punter from the Rams had 2 snaps go through his hand. So I just made it up that it was a crappy day, it was a rainy day, and he just couldn't hang on to the ball. And it fits my story.
That's the beauty of card and dice
that
you can visualize. Frank Wainscott says, when I was 17, I worked at Hyde Park Kroger's. Pete Johnson would do his grocery shopping every week. He loved our free samples. That's awesome.
That's great.
Kevin Thomas, all of APPA football talk lately has me seriously considering getting it. Now, if you want to get it, think about it. Watch some videos, because it is an investment. Get a season, as everyone says, get a season you like with players you like, because you're going to love it. And okay, here's something.
Or you could get the game for $40 and order a Super Bowl set.
I was just going to say that.
And that's a good way to try it out. And then if you're like, this is awesome, get a season.
If you buy the game, I bought the game because I wanted the new charts, which I don't like the book. I'm going to try it. I do like these.
Try it. Once you get used to finding what stuff is, I think it expands so much on the older ones.
So, but I'm going to talk about the basic book. The basic book. Okay. So now with the when I bought it, you get the Chiefs and Eagles. Oh God, is that 2022? When I bought it, it might have changed by now. Super Bowl teams. And then you get the 2 NCAA, which I haven't played at college. I got to try that because the college one, the modern teams, I see how it would fit. The old teams, if you're playing a wishbone, I mean, it's still, you just have to change. Like today, I'm playing with 2, 3, 4 defenses, right? That's the first time because with the like all-star teams, they're playing all 4 threes because their defensive linemen are so phenomenal, right? So I want to see how the college team plays they have a really fun old college set. The problem is I only really want to play like 4 of those teams. Yeah. You know what I mean? I'm like, and you're talking the money, like it's $80, right? And I'm sitting there going, man, I kind of want it because of those 4 teams. But yeah, you're right. If you buy the game, you're going to get 4 teams. The professional Super Bowl, the teams that played in the Super Bowl, not the one I got it was 2022. So I don't know what it is now. But I just purchased it. But I don't know if
it's still 2022 because they just come out with 23.
Right. Okay. So it'd still be 2022. And then you're going to get the 2 teams that played for the NCAA championship. So you get 4 teams. And that's a good way to find
I would order a couple of Super Bowl teams that you might want to play. Somebody that you like.
They're only $18. That's not bad.
Yeah. And then if you like it and, but see myself, I like to get the whole seasons. I know it's kind of sounds kind of uppity, but I love the ability to play anybody. I love having everybody. And I did order a couple of Super Bowl sets. So, I mean, I am going to do that as well. No, I think I did. Yeah, I ordered the 68 Super Bowl set. Because I wasn't going to play 68. But I would play the Super Bowl, and I've already played it and had a blast with it.
Joe Namath's phenomenal, and then at Baltimore. Then if you want to do a what if with that Baltimore team, that team's phenomenal. The Colts team, the I don't know if they have the 99 Super Bowl.
They have 98. They don't. I don't know if they have that.
99 was one of when the Titans. What the guy get tackled at the half-yard line?
Yeah,
that was one of the most incredible endings.
Yeah,
I remember him trying to stretch to get the ball across. That was phenomenal.
So Super Bowl card sets. No, they don't have anything in the 90s actually for a Super Bowl set.
I get some
80s and a lot of 2000s.
They also have what if Super Bowls, but I at first I was like, oh, those are cool. AFL, NFL. But I'm worried because the AFL, like with the
It's good.
All-Stars,
Yeah.
it's skewed. They don't. I'm like, there's no way they would win. But I'm thinking 1958 championship, Giants, Colts, greatest game ever played. The overtime game. But to get that season is only $50. Not that I don't mean only, but that's
Yeah.
and you get that's another one of them. So okay, here 58, 74, 76, 2007. I'm not getting them all. I'm just saying that's
Well, you get one here, one there. You know what I mean? You spread it out. It's like you put it on the credit card, and you pay it off in a month or two, and then in a couple months you do it again. And yeah, I think it was
Kevin
Kevin
Dyson was the guy at the end. Okay,
You might
for
be
the
right.
Titans. I just think it plays so well, and I don't care how long it takes. Now, streaming wise, it's one of the more difficult things to try to figure out how to stream. So I think I like to do the 4 drive challenge. You get to feel the taste of the game, enough of it, but it is enjoyable to sit there and play out the.
I like to do the
whole
first quarter and then play the second and third offline, and then maybe come back for the fourth.
So you do first and fourth?
Usually, yeah. Sometimes I'll do the second, not usually the third, but it all depends. Like if I'm sitting here playing and it's like, well, no one's on, I'll jump on and just show off what I'm playing here. So I'll play the second quarter and then jump out. And if the fourth quarter is going well, maybe I'll come back, because there's a couple that I really, really wished. Like
I know.
The tuck game. I really wish I was live when Brady scored that touchdown from 4 yards out. That would have been fun.
Yeah.
And then, overtime to have Janikowski get on and kick that field goal to win it for Oakland, and, rewrite
You
history.
have a really clever setup. You use the football helper. What's that called again? Is it just football?
Pro Football Helper.
Pro Football Helper. You have that up like towards the top, and then you have your tabletop.
Yeah, cards in the middle. Yep. Yeah. And then me, and I have in that helper you can roll dice. So I roll that for my defensive cards.
Yeah, I see that over to the side.
Yep. So that's my defense, and then I roll the dice for my offense. So that way, there, if I ever how it is when you get talking in the chat and you forget what it was, and like, oh, what was that defense again? The dice rolls there, and I'm not re-rolling dice and forgetting what it was. So. But yeah, no, the Apple football again, like you said, it's an investment. For me, it's one of my favorite games, and so I'm investing in this game, and I plan on putting a lot of time in this game, and I have put a lot of time in this game, and I've had so much fun. I don't know how this game does it. I don't know how it feels such like a football game, and
I know we always come back to saying that, but it's true. Frank Wainscott saying I play Wonelli for college football. You can pick up 10 teams for $50. I've never played that. I've heard of it. I do. Here's the thing. I love college football, old school college football. And to get Anthony had a great teams thing that I liked, because it had the old teams and I liked that stuff. But college football, because with college football, I can see the pageantry. Remember how the pageantry of the game?
Oh, yeah.
I can hear the bands playing.
The granddaddy of them all.
Yep. The Rose Bowl. This is Keith Jackson here. We have USC and Ohio State. And when I was a kid, not that I liked Ohio State, I did like USC because of the Juice game. And I didn't see OJ play, but the highlights and you hear about him, blah, blah, blah. So I always wanted USC to win the Rose Bowl, right? And if it was USC, I like to see, now it's not traditional, I liked USC and Ohio State. So I remember, was it 79? Charles White won the Heisman, and it was USC and Ohio State. And man, I was in my glory as a kid, because you got to see all these games on New Year's Day.
Yeah.
They didn't break them up.
That was fun. Yeah.
Now they I don't like what they've done to it. I
remember back in the 70s, I don't know how far they went into the 80s with this, but I remember when I used to sit down for Sunday football, and usually it would be Patriots or, whatever.
Get the Patriots on NBC, the Giants on CBS, and then you get a 4:00 game.
Yeah, but how they would start the broadcast on NBC wouldn't be like, you know, how did they say it? It's like, we're bringing you the best of the NFL, the American Football Conference. They would always say the
Yeah,
best of the NFL,
because
the
they
American Football
because
Conference.
they were an American Football Conference channel.
Yeah,
Was,
so they always said that. And I could never figure out why they were gloating like that. Is, so we're gonna play, Miami, Buffalo today, or whoever it was. But they would always say that. It was kind of like I remember that.
I'll tell you. You know what I used to love? I don't know how long they did it, but it was in the early '80s, possibly early '80s sticks in my head, but late '70s, early '80s. The Alcoa fantastic
Alcoa can't
finish,
wait. Alcoa can't wait.
right?
Yeah.
And then they do the commercial, and they come back and they show you the
Yeah.
fantastic finish.
Or
I love
Sperry.
that.
Remember Sperry was a big one. I never knew what Sperry or Alcoa was.
I didn't care. I just want to see the fantastic finish.
Yeah, all I know is that if E.F. Hutton speaks, people listen.
That Glenn Victor, Al, have you played much college football with 2nd and 10? I've played some. I like 2nd and 10. What made it more enjoyable for me was when Uncle Ron Juckett showed me the settings so I can just see the little dice rolls, the numbers actually. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what all the numbers mean, but I know enough when I sit there and I go, "Oh, that's a good roll," or "Those are good numbers, those are bad." It helps me visualize. The only thing sometimes I think I have a good roll, but it's that secondary roll that changes it because of the defense call, I think. Yeah, Glenn does a lot of college football. And Glenn finds all the photos and stuff and puts them in there. The college game doesn't have all the photos. What I've done when I play college, because I don't have the patience to find all the photos, I take the football helmet, I just punch it, because I hate I wish you could, and I don't think there's a setting. If there is, someone please tell me. In 2nd and 10, I wish you could just put the football helmet. Say, yes, use the football helmet instead of the photo. Because I don't like when the blank photo comes up. That's just me. It takes 2nd and 10 is a fun game. I wish they had a little animation. It'd be phenomenal. I would pay for it.
Yeah.
Glenn Victor, OSU. Wow. Frank Wainscott just played 78 USC versus 1997 Michigan. USC won 20-16. Charles White rushed for 154 yards. Brian Greasy threw 3 picks.
Oh, wow.
Charles White was a phenomenal college player. Solid pro. He never panned out the way they thought. Glenn Victor. Alcoa, fantastic finishes at the 2-minute warning. Yep.
I don't remember those.
Oh, they were great. Look them up.
I remember the Alcoa can't wait jingle, but I don't remember the Alcoa fantastic finish.
Mark Jones, you can call me Ray or you can call me Jay. Great commercial. Yes. That was a beer commercial, right?
It must have been, yeah.
I think that was a beer commercial.
Oh, you can call me Ray.
What was the beer? Oh, Miller Lite. Less filling, tastes great. Those were fun commercials.
Yeah.
With all the people.
Ones. Yeah, there was some good ones.
Unbelievable. Well, we're coming up on 2 hours of a chat.
Yeah, 1 o'clock out here in the East Coast. I think I'm going to be calling it a night over here.
I appreciate you coming on, Uncle Dave.
Yeah, that was fun.
I'm going to stay on just a little longer.
Yeah, I'll probably go upstairs and listen on the phone or whatever. But yeah, but it was just fun coming on and chatting with you guys and talking about some games. That's what we do, and there's so many good games to play.
There are so many good games. There are so many. That baseball, I have to check that one out. But I'm
season ticket. You can download the game for free, and they have a bunch of teams for free, including the 75 World Series.
I've seen that before and that's very kind of
you can so you can download the whole game and play it for free, and then just buy the seasons.
I think with a new company, or not a new company, he's been around a long time, but I mean, when you break into something different, because he has Football Mogul and Baseball Mogul. You know what? That would be interesting if you have Clay on. Has he ever thought what we were talking about? Roll the dice. Think about Baseball Mogul. That has some animation to it. It's actually a fun game, to be honest.
Yeah.
Has he ever thought of this? take his the card and dice game season ticket,
Mm-hmm.
do a little PC thing for it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where you could roll the dice, see the ball hit, and maybe a little animation, the ball thrown to first. That would be phenomenal.
Yeah.
That would, and again, it's an investment, and you have to. Is it going to make money for you? You know, because it's just wish list things. You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
That would be fun. But it looked. Thank you for explaining again. When I've listened to people play it, but I'm not watching. You know, I'm just enjoying them enjoying it. Who had the unboxing? Oh God, Jeff. Jeff did an unboxing today. That was, you know, he had so much fun doing it. And then when he did Skip Carey doing the unboxing, he did a pretty good Skip
Yeah.
Carey voice.
Yeah.
And I told him, he goes, "I'll do better next time." You know, I was just leaving comments on, yeah, I think it was on Digital Dice, right? And I was sitting there going, "You were enjoying it. I enjoy when someone enjoys it. I
Yeah.
was having, I loved it. It was fun."
Yeah, that was great.
So
That was a good time. So, all right. Thanks for having me on chat room.
take
Talk
care,
to you
Uncle
guys
Dave.
later.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
We're only going to stay on a little longer, guys, and then I'm gonna probably play a little PC something before I hit the hay.
Nice. So,
I'm yoked on coffee now, so
all right. We'll catch you all later.
take care, Uncle Dave.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. So, Uncle Dave is leaving, and it's just me. Frank Wainscott. Next on my board is 1997 Tennessee with Peyton Manning, 1981 Pitt with Marino. Oh, boy, that sounds great. As people are saying goodnight to Uncle Dave. That sounds great. Now, Frank, what game are you using? What game are you using? That sounds phenomenal. Mark Jones is saying goodnight to Uncle Dave. We're only going to stay on a little longer. I appreciate everyone stopping by. We talked a lot of APPA because I'm having fun with it. So I picked up the oh, whoa, Nelly. You did say that. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Frank. You did say whoa, Nelly back here. Now, Frank, would you say whoa, Nelly? What do you think the learning curve is for that? Because I do love college football. Glenn Victor, I think it's good time to check out as well. So glad I got to jump in. Good night, Al, and the chat. Well, good night, Glenn. And like I said, we're just going to go. We'll probably go till 2 or a little after. As 2 hours and a little after. It's 1:06 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Fast Drive. No, I don't play Fast Drive football. That's the Al Wilson game. Very clever. I've watched people play it. Very clever game. Very smart. It's and it's free, right? Fast Drive. Am I thinking the right game? The Al Wilson free game, similar to play. I do like 2nd and 10 football on the PC. It's a fun game. I like Strat PC on the Strat football on the PC. Yeah, it's Al Wilson, who's brilliant. He did a lot of work on 2nd and 10 when it came to the photos and stuff. Very good member of the community. What I'd like to see from play, I'd love to see a horse racing game. Love to see a horse racing game. We've talked about that before. What I'd like to see, I like to help Anthony find a PC programmer for Glory Days Boxing. I think it would do phenomenal on the PC, the way Anthony envisions it, and I agree. Where you roll your dice, and you can roll your dice or have the computer roll the dice, and you see the result. Just like the game. So it's going to do the and there's not a lot of heavy lifting with Glory Days Boxing. It's phenomenal. That would be cool. So if anyone knows a PC programmer, shoot him my way. Frank Wainscott on the learning curve for Womanelli. Not bad, but it has a big footprint. Team cards, individual defense cards, quarterback cards, and kicker cards. Again, if you're enjoying the game, though, you know. Frank Wainscott. I have Win, Place, and Show from Avalon Hill. I break it out at Derby time. Derby time's coming up. Nurse Teresa and I will be betting the Derby, as we bet all three big races. I use TVG. It's the only time I bet the horses now. We've done good. Shit, we've made money most of the time, a lot of the time. So, well, folks, Mark Jones says Win, Place, Show is a good game. That, man, they want a lot of money on eBay for that. They want a lot of money on eBay. I have, oh, shoot, what is it? Hold on a second. What's it called here? I have 2 horse racing PC games, Top of the Stretch and, what the hell is this one? TRG. I forgot but they're both fun. I like TRG a little better, but I have 2 horse racing PC games, very fun. Oh, that's the one. That's the one, Mark. That's the one that's really expensive. Actually, the other one's expensive too, but even APPA Saddle Racing, which they don't make anymore. And the thing with a horse racing game, why I think Play could do a phenomenal job, I mean, you're going to have, like, say if you're doing the Kentucky Derby, what do you have, 10, 12 horses, sometimes more in the field? You got to roll for every horse. So it's going to take longer than an actual horse racing game. But I think it would be fun. I would enjoy a play.com horse racing game, because you'd have out of the gate would be a roll. You'd have your turns would be a roll, and you have down the stretch. So you can make it as quick as 3 rolls if possible, or out of the gates, one roll. Your turns, you make 3 turns, right? Isn't it 3 turns? That's 4 rolls. And then down the stretch, 5 rolls. It'd be cool if you could do out of the gate, the turns, so that's 2 rolls, and down the stretch, 3 rolls, and you have a result. Something like that. Yeah, APPA horse racing is crazy expensive. I agree. The cards for APPA Saddle Racing is free download now. You got to get the game, though. That's the problem. Because I like the great horses. It's fun, you know. Great what if projects. If you want to watch, if you like sporting events, a Foreman Alley Dart, just watch all their races. Someone has it on YouTube. It's incredible. I forgot how many times. I'm not talking about just the Derby and the Preakness and the Belmont. I'm talking about all their races that are Foreman and Alydar ran against each other. And they're like phenomenal races, almost all of them. A firm would win the Triple Crown. What was that, 77, 78? Beat Alydar. Alydar finished second in all 3. But, yeah, Foreman Alydar, it's incredible. Look it up on YouTube. So much fun. I think all the races combined are about 20 minutes, if that. The video quality, again, is not the best, but they're VCRs. Someone VCR'd them or something. I don't know. But it's fun to listen to and watch. Affirm, Alydar, down the stretch they come. Phenomenal sporting event. If you want to see a mega horse, watch Secretariat, 1973, when it just destroys the field. And you just sit there and you go, wow. You know, incredible. I'd like to see that horse racing game. It'd be phenomenal. Season ticket baseball looks pretty good, which I listen to a lot of YouTube, so I listen to when people do games. I'm not necessarily watching. I do watch videos when I'm trying to learn something, like when I was trying to learn APPA, or any game, I watch how-to videos. And I know Clay Dreslow, or Clay, I don't know if I pronounced his last name correct, so Clay. I know he's done tutorials on the game, but Dave Gardner quickly explained it. It looks really good. Pops Review, how you doing, my friend? How's your family? We got to have a chat with Pops Reviews soon. Talk about wrestling. Check out Pops Reviews channel and subscribe. He's had some Downey wrestling on. He had some roller derby. Very nice person, very wonderful channel. Pops Review. He says, good night, Al, in the chat. Have a good night, everyone. Well, thank you very much, my friend. Final thoughts. We always ask this, but it's interesting to me. We stayed pretty much on tabletop gaming right now, which is cool. What with the game that you like, you don't have to name the game, but the game you play the most, what do you want to see that gaming company do? Release more seasons? If it's a PC game, update animation? Would you like to see a baseball game, we'll say, where now the closest thing, actually, this is the closest thing that comes to it. I didn't even think of it. Strat football on the PC is the closest thing. Okay. I love strat football on the PC. You know why? You see the dice roll. You can actually roll your own dice and input it if you want. Play plays out. Would you like to see that in the same thing in Stratomatic PC baseball? I'd love to see an update to Stratomatic PC baseball. It doesn't have to be fancy schmancy. I like to see an icon for the base runner, sort of like Replay Baseball. Replay Baseball sort of shows you see the dice roll and you see the movement. You don't see a ball, but you see the player movement on the bases. So wouldn't it be cool if we took something like Strat PC football? You see the dice roll, you actually see the play out. Now they use squares and triangles for their player icons. Now take it to the next level. It doesn't have to be great animation, but imagine, say, Pro Strategy Football animation type. You roll the dice and you see the result. So you're like, oh, it's a 15-yard run. And now you get to see the little guy run. That's basically Strat PC football, but now let's add a little better animation to it. I'd like to see that. I would love to see Glory Days Boxing come to the PC first of all. And again, if you know a programmer, please send them my way or Anthony's way. I continue to look for a programmer when I can for Glory Days Boxing to bring it to the PC. The tabletop version is phenomenal, and the PC version will be just as good. And Anthony's working on his wrestling game. If you're on the Facebook site for Glory Days Sports, he put up like a beta, not necessarily a beta, but I got an itch on my eyebrow. He showed you what the cards might look like, and it looks really cool. But I'd like to see something like that. That would be fun. Dynasty League Baseball does this for home runs, but I'd rather not have it. It slows the – well, yes, it would slow – it's going to slow the game down just a little bit, you know. But you could also have where you don't see it, you know, like you click it off. Like in Stratomatic football, you don't have to see the animation. I like to see the animation. To me, it's fun. I'll tell you for APPA Go, why can't I wish they would do something like APPA Go for their PC. And again, for APPA PC, which is Windows for Baseball, Beatles Eternally knows all about that. It'd be fun if APPA Go, they sort of put it on the PC and you could roll your dice and just input it. So again, like digital Digital Diamond Baseball, you can roll your dice and input it. Stratomatic, you can roll your dice and input it. Digital Dice Baseball, phenomenal helper, right? Phenomenal. And the game engine's good. I don't use it as a helper because, like, when I play card and dice, I like to write stuff. That's just me. It's relaxing. But a lot of people use it as a helper, and it's brilliant. They also have Status Pro. You can play almost every Status Pro season. So that was a great coup for them to get. And I don't know if they had I don't know if there's if it's free public domain or something like that. But yeah, so that's, the people use it as a helper. Mike Terranova's joined us. Check out that channel and subscribe. Kevin Thomas, I just learned that APPA Go and their PC baseball game are two different things, LL. Yeah, they are. APPA Go, I wish that's what they did for their PC game. I want to roll my dice or see the dice roll. With Windows for Baseball, there is a way to see the number, I guess, but you don't roll your own dice. It's text-based. Just like, what's it, Diamond Mind? Text-based. You can actually play Out of the Ballpark text-based where you have no animation. Something with Out of the Ballpark, though. I enjoy it, but I mean, I'm enjoying it less. I think the animations got better, but it's quirky at times, and I don't mind that. But I think the game logic has actually gotten... I mean, the last version, I didn't like the game logic. This version, the game logic is okay. They still don't do... Like, even when you make the setting, like, hey, pull the pitcher when this happens, it still doesn't do it when you think it should do it, D. Smith, NP3 allows you to roll your dice and enter results. It is basically... You're right. And for the longest time, I was not a big NP3 person. But once I learned how to play APPA, I fooled around with the demo, and I might probably purchase that game. And the games play quick, and they're fun. But I think you do... You're right. I totally forgot about that. You're right. NP3. Thank you, D. Smith. Hope all is well. And you can get a free demo of the game for your PC. And if you like APPA, and when you buy the game, and you can tell me, D. Smith, when you buy the game, you can pick any season you want. Bernard Strom Sports Replay, another fun channel. Please subscribe to that. Lots of wonderful Red Sox replays. APPA Go is the basic game. Windows for Baseball is the master game. Okay. I would like them to bring APPA Go to the PC. That's just me. As D. Smith says, yes, any season. And it's fairly reasonably priced. And do they still do this? If you play every game, which you kind of have to, right? Because there's no automated games, I think. I could be wrong. If you play every game and you post your results on... What's that called? On... oh God, I'm a brain dead. If you post your results on their board, I can't think of it. But you have to play every game, and if you post every game, you get a free season. They used to do that. Someone told me. You're right. You know what? I might just purchase NP3. I did have fun playing the demo. I don't know what season I would get. NP3 also has some great team sets, dynasty sets. Yep, I saw those. But again, once I learned how to play APPA, I went back to NP3, the demo, because sometimes it takes me a long time to pull the trigger on something, and I'm like, oh, I understand this now. I understand this. That's the same thing like Replay Baseball. It took me forever watching people play that, and then tutorials, and then again, I always give credit to King Ikibu. He explained it enough made it easy to understand, where 1 and 2 better for the pitcher. 3 and 6 better for the hitter. 4 infield defense, 5 pitcher control. Once he explained that, and you start remembering the numbers, and you when you buy the game, and Replay Baseball also has a free demo. I played the demo. I understood it a little better. I printed the charts. I have them down there somewhere. I would roll my own dice to learn the game, and once I did that, no problem. All I have to do is remember what's an out and what's good. And I pretty much have that memorized or remembered, learned 90% of it, which is enough for me. Thank you, Kevin, for stopping by, my friend. You have a good night, too. And I think with that, we're going to call it a stream. So we had a lot of fun. It was a lot of APPA chat tonight. And if you want to see more chats with Al, hit that like button. Leave comments on the page, as I say, down below. It was wonderful having everyone here in the chat. We had Uncle Dave Gardner for a while. Hopefully we'll have Pop's review on in the near future. Talk some wrestling and other things with Pop's review. And with our chats with Al, we talk about everything. Tonight was mostly APPA because I'm enjoying the APPA football game, the APPA baseball game. And you know what? Maybe I'd like to get Mark Jones on, talk some boxing or whatever. And whoever, it's fun to talk our hobby and sports. We didn't even talk about the football draft. I don't even concern myself with the football draft until the season starts. Then we find out who's good and who's not. Patriots, going to be interesting to see what they do. They drafted, was he out of NC State or North Carolina? Last name May. We'll see how it goes. We got Jacoby back. So I'm happy about that. We'll see how it goes. I think we can run the ball. I think the defense will be good for the Patriots. We'll see if they can score now. If I was a Patriots, I'd go out and get a kicker. Make sure you put points up on the board and you win games. Mark Jones says, we like our fireside chats with Al. Thank you. Ron McGrath, thanks, Al. D. Smith, thanks for the chat, Al. Thank you guys. I'm getting not tired, just my voice is starting to go and I'm itching to play some more games. So, Ron McGrath says he thinks his Chiefs slammed it in the draft. So again, we'll take a look. I haven't really looked at the draft. I know the Patriots drafted a quarterback again from either North Carolina or NC State. And last time I paid attention to the draft for the Patriots, we got Mac Jones. I was happy. Mac Jones had a good first year. And he fell off. I think they crushed his confidence too. They didn't give him nobody to throw to. I think he got frustrated and his actions didn't help the team either. But that's what happens when you're a young quarterback. I think he's actually gonna be fine where he went. So but a lot of fun. Let's go back. I don't think we'll go through all. We're going to try to thank everyone. Thank you, Ron McGrath. Thank you, D. Smith. Thank you, Mark Jones. Thank you, Kevin Thomas. Bernard Strom's Sports Replays. Mike Terranova. Pop's Review. Frank Wayne Scott. Glenn Victor. Philip Reynolds. And congratulations on your upcoming marriage. Continue to scroll up. Of course, we had Uncle Dave Gardner with us, so always thanking him for that. Robert Crosser, or Crosseri, I think it's Crosser. Excuse me. Thank you. Doug Hunt, thank you. Mark Russell, thank you. Roger Horn, thank you. Our good friend Steve Tower, after further review with Steve Tower. Clinton Parks, thank you. Did I say Mark Russell? I can't remember. Mark Russell, thank you. Richard Atoni, thank you. Scroll up. We had a fun, lively chat. Again, it was a lot of APPA talk, but that's fine. Brock Riblet, thank you. Max Cornelius, thank you. Dave Little, thank you. D. Scott Howard, the Goat Whisperer, thank you. Mike Silva, thank you. He does a lot of wonderful work with OOTP. I don't know how much farther we can scroll up. Oh, it's still letting me scroll up. That's always good. 90 MFC, thank you. Pretty sure I already said thanks to Ron McGrath. Pesky Pole, thank you. Sports Flicks, thank you. W. Vogs, thank you very much. Arnold Hunter. And I believe we got everybody. All right. Awesome. It was a fun chat. Enjoy the games you play. Play them the way you want. They're your games. And that's the fun of it. Stay safe. Be smart. Treat people the way you want to be treated. God bless. I love you all. Greatly appreciate your time. Again, if you enjoy these streams and videos on my channel, hit that like button, share, like, subscribe. If you do subscribe, hit the bell for notification when we go live, because the only people who get in our chat are subscribers. And that's the way we like to keep it. With the FOC, friends of the channel, friends of the community. Check out all the other wonderful content creators in our community. Sub, like, share them as well as me. Grow the community. Come back where everybody knows your name. Have fun. We will see you very soon. And as always, peace. Thank you.